Do not adjust your radio dial. You are tuned in to the Mark Order Podcast.
69.
59.
Nice.
69, dudes!
Nice.
Join the Mark Order.
Was a summer of 69. Nice.
Join the Mark Order.
Quickly, north-south position. 69 me, Don. 69 me, save me.
69.
69.
Oh, baby.
69.
It is a very sexy,
69.
a very spicy, and it is really a very hot Mark Order podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, whoa, I didn't even know it went back to the regular music. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's the Mark Order Podcast, the episode you've all been waiting for. Sexy 69. Oh, baby. We got the holy triumvirate of the Mark Order Podcast here tonight. Kate the Great is here. And Ryan is doing his best Top Gun impression. He is inverted.
Well, see, it's like you're a 6 and I'm a 9, or you're a 9 and I'm a 6.
Yeah, but now you just look like the Spider-Man kiss thing.
Okay, I guess I'll have to change it then. I'll show you some. I have other options.
It does look very Spider-Man kissy.
It's cute.
That's okay.
69 can start with some Spider-Man moment. There we go.
Oh,
There we
you think-
go.
Oh my goodness. Ryan comes correct.
I love
How's
it.
everybody doing tonight on
Hello,
the
Captain.
69th episode?
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen,
If ever there was an episode to be watching on the YouTube instead of your streaming platform of choice, my God, you want to see Ryan's fit tonight.
yeah, you absolutely do. It's the episode, it's the milestone we've been waiting to make it to. A lot of people say, let's make it to 1 year. We did that. A lot of people like to say, let's get to episode 100. Who gives a shit? We can end it after tonight because we made it to episode 69. Nice. We also have to thank our loyal compatriot, Asian Joe, for doing something special because we weren't going to do it. Doing something special and putting together a little remix intro for episode Sexy 69. So
I cannot wait until that dude visits New Jersey. I need to meet that guy in person. He's so supportive. He's the best. He's supportive in the most fun ways, like creating a 60-69 intro for us.
yeah.
The captain approves.
Oh God, I love how he's referring to himself in third person as the captain. Not
Oh
even.
my God, we have a captain and the cruise director.
Well, where is cruise director? Not here. Boo.
No, I gotta take him back from Matt. His presence on the show.
Don't
is
worry,
really
Mr.
dwindled
Money.
since-
The captain will take us on our journey tonight.
Oh, all right. Well, you can certainly take us on our journey, Captain. What are we calling you, Captain Schlong?
That's what I'm called quite often.
Oh boy.
As
We
I
are
pull
three
into
people in
port.
our 30s just
Yeah.
hanging out with Captain
You might
Schlong.
not think so, but we definitely are. And I don't know about you guys, but
You
at
have a
least
kid.
I know at least one of us is on the far end of 30. So
Right down the middle. Right
All
down
right.
the middle at the old 3-5.
yeah, Kate, like you said, Asian Joe, who did our intro tonight, Asian Joe is going to be visiting New Jersey in the fall. I believe he said October in the chat last week. Mrs. Money's actually trying to coordinate some things. But Kate, I think he said where he was going to be. You might as well just have him stay at your house. I mean, Just
Well,
open
he
up your door.
said- I think he wanted to be near Rutgers, and like in New Brunswick is a shitty area to stay, and I'm like
Oh,
20
yeah.
minutes away. And he was like, he's flying into Newark, and he and I had actually talked before like his itinerary, and I was like, I'm kind of like where I am happens to be a really good spot, and like hopefully I could like meet you and hang out with you. So he's hanging out in the Bridgewater area when he visits, but I was like, that's like 40 minutes from the airport and 20 minutes from New Brunswick. Like that's a nice happy medium. So very excited to get to meet him in person. And we got a lot of people in the chat today. Hi, people in the chat.
It's a very special episode of the Mark Order
is.
podcast.
It is.
Listen,
They knew the
'cause
captain
it's-
would be here.
Oh, my God.
Nobody, not the
I didn't know the
the
captain was going to
captain
be here.
being here is not something that was like a known fact really until the
absolutely
big
was
reveal.
not. It was not known, and I love it.
Captain's a little upset though. There was a pipe originally included. Cannot find the pipe. He's without smoking his pipe tonight.
Oh God.
I have a pipe somewhere here,
Fucking
Schlong, but
Mark.
I'm not. I can tell you this: it's hot outside still, and even though I have air conditioning, this room gets very hot. So as the night goes on, I'm gonna start glistening, and you're gonna
That's-
see me sweating a little bit.
I decided to give the ladies and gentlemen and non-binary friends a nice
There you
little
go.
show.
I also love that your voice is completely different than it normally is. You're like, I am going to sound like a smooth jazz DJ as I am.
One night
the captain.
only. The captain is in town.
One night
That's all
only.
I
Don't make
say.
promises like that. But we got Henry
Captain
Casey
never
in the
promises more
chat.
than
We
one
got
night.
Mrs. Money. We got Rob Wilkins. We've got Eric. We've got a good. We got Matthew Plus, but who gives a shit about that guy?
I don't know who any of these people are. It's
Dave
okay.
Bauer.
I don't even know who Asian Joe, David Bauer, Eric Freeds are. So it's okay.
They're friends.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do know Mark Quill though. Hi, Mark Quill. Yeah, it's a very special episode of the Mark Order podcast,
It is.
episode 69.
You might be thinking, oh, because it's a Fyter Fest review? No. Because it's nice.
It is.
I just want to
moist.
say, Kyle K. Sparks, you say you're a braver man. I'm a braver man than you because I'm engaging in some thirst trap foolishness. When you're on the open seas, you never go thirsty with the captain.
I am leveraging for a Mark Order calendar where I am the only one who's tastefully dressed. And you fellas are doing the sexy work that a calendar requires.
Listen, I have. Listen, by the way, everybody in the chat, I'm just joking. I know who you guys are. I see you every week. I see you every
You're here all the
week. I was
time.
just making fun of Kate. Hi David Bauer, hi Rob Humphrey, hi Eric Freeds, hi Asian Joe, hi everybody. So yeah, let's button up some business right off the top. Yes, I think we need to work in an Asian Joe hang sesh while he's here in New Jersey.
I vote
Schlong.
Matt's house, whether Matt's available or not.
I think Matt did say, if we do the Sunday hang, that's on the table. So
I'm just saying whether he's there or not. Like, Reed's the one that builds the fire. We don't really need
that's
Matt.
true.
Yeah.
that's true. That is true. But even if Reed's not there, I will still go sit in Matt's backyard.
We can
It's a
hang
very
out.
nice backyard. So that's one. I didn't want to forget that. So Asian Joe, we will, as things get closer, let's work out a little get together.
We mean closer by date because I don't think we're going to get much closer to Ryan than we're getting right now. Like,
Very
I don't
true.
think it's going to get more intimate than chest
Well,
hair out, Ryan Schlong.
It's early in the night, Kate. It's very
Very
early.
early. You don't know what the captain's capable of.
We haven't even made it to the witching hour.
It's true. We have not made it to the witching hour.
At this rate, we'll make it to tomorrow's witching hour. Man. So if you think we have puns and jokes when there is not a juvenile number at the end of our episode list, tonight you better strap in.
Did you say strap
guys?
in or strap on?
That's what I was going to
Oh
say.
boy, I knew it was coming. I was just gonna say, guys, I hope you're doing well. Kate, let's start with the ladies, because hey, it's a lady.
Looks like the caller is a lady.
Hey, what's happening?
Looks like the co-host is a lady.
What's going on, Kate? What's new? What's good? How you feeling tonight?
I don't mean to alarm anyone with my exciting day, but I found end tables that I've been looking for months.
That's very sexy.
It is, because you know where those end tables go? Next to my bed.
Boom.
Where the
on
magic
your
happens. That's right, Burlington Coat Factory end tables next to my bed where the magic happens. So if there's a sexier way to celebrate than my end tables, I will say I accidentally had Nikita Lyons gear happen today on a pair of leggings. Last week, as you know, I burned my butt. This week, I was in Burlington and I caught my leggings on like the end cap of an aisle, and the seam just ripped down the side. And thank God I was at Burlington, because I just went and bought another pair immediately.
Nice.
Straight up down the side. So accidentally sexy? Oh yeah, all day.
Well, Kate, from what I hear, you'd better anchor those end tables to the wall, because if they're next to the bed, oh boy, if that bed's rocking, don't come a knocking.
That's right. My burned butt on display at Burlington Coat Factory for people.
That's right.
To say. Not really like my burned butt so much as just like the seam on the side.
Pretty soon you'll be rubbing aloe on the burned butt.
Ayo!
That's in the second hour. Stay tuned. It'll be YouTube appropriate, so we won't get kicked off.
Yeah, of course. Sign up for our OnlyFans.
Yeah, this is a freebie. This is a preview of the OnlyFans.
That's right.
Well, Captain Schlong, how are you sailing tonight?
The waters are fine. They're not too rough, though I don't mind some rough waters. I believe you came to me because it looks like I had to find Christmas hams stuffed down the back of my dress. After you offered me a fish sandwich. Listen, you can reference the ladies' man, so can I, because I know all the tools of the trade as the captain.
You just turned into a Southern woman, though, all of a sudden. It's more what I was thrown off by.
The captain sails the seven seas, and so he gets lots of accents.
Speaking of the captain and sexy men, did you watch the first installment of Derek Jeter's biopic thing?
I did.
I thought it was very
absolutely
good.
Did. Listen, Schlong, don't shake your head. I mean, it's baseball. I'll watch anything baseball. I watch the Mets thing. I hate the Mets.
I'm not a Derek Jeter hater, but I'm not gonna watch anything on the Yankees.
This accent it's just
going
a
all
tour
over.
across the country. We were in the Midwest there for a second. We were in the South a moment ago. I just want to come back home to Philly.
That's right. His accent is sailing the seven seas right now. That's all I know.
That's what I said. I travel the world, and I get lots of accents and lots of ladies.
Now do the Swedish chef.
Bork, 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 bork.
I don't know him. What province is he from? He's from Sesame Street, dumbass. It's an Office reference, boy. He gets the ladies' man and he misses the Office? Come on.
I got it.
Schlong, I have to ask you, how was your Friday night?
Friday night. So I had my nights mixed up. I'm going into Southern a little bit again, and I'm just going to roll with it.
That's fine. And I know you finally got out of the house.
I did. I went to it was Saturday night. I was wrong on my nights.
Right.
I'm never leaving the house again. Bad things happen when you leave the house. But we'll just leave it at that. But the concert was enjoyable. Except, hold on, going right Ryan mode. Captain's gone for a second.
Oh boy.
These fuckers in my row, literally every 3 seconds, one of their group just kept walking in front of us, like to go get beer or something.
Yeah, man.
Like, watch the fucking concert you paid money for.
You knew where you went, right? You went to Frat Boy Supreme Turnout.
Listen,
Dave Matthews.
for all old men.
Yeah, but they're all frat boys. Once you're a frat boy, you're always a frat boy.
Somehow,
so Kate's always the sorority girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I still do
Back to
love
the
a good
captain.
brunch. Yeah, you without the hat got weirder somehow.
It was very weird. I didn't like it. It seemed very aggressive with the robe on.
It did. I feel like I got acclimated to the hat and then it was gone. Wait, can you turn it backwards?
Hold on.
No. I don't like that. No.
It's a sexual predator.
Yeah, it is.
This is the
Okay.
captain, and he
Very
always gets
comfortable now.
consent.
I am very comfortable now.
But she won't
Oh.
say no.
I
Because
don't
of
This
the
like
guy is sweeping the deck.
Don't like that.
See, the captain gets consent, but no one would ever say no to the captain because of the implication.
Exactly, the implication.
You'll walk the plank.
She's not going to say no because of the
We're in the middle of
implication.
nowhere.
So, Schlong, besides the guys getting beer, the concert was good.
It was a good time, had by all.
Okay. I thought you went on Fridays because you said you were going on Friday, and I was gonna say we lived
And then I checked my
juxtaposed
tickets.
Friday nights.
Then I checked my tickets and realized it was Saturday.
Oh,
I would have looked
Very-
foolish.
you would have been like, I have a ticket. Then been like, it's the wrong day, sir.
Man, there is just no traffic at this venue. That's so weird.
Oh no, he was playing Friday as well.
Yeah, he was Friday,
Sold
Saturday.
out 2 nights.
He probably didn't stop playing in between. Like, he plays for so long. He probably just jammed out the entire time and was like, oh, cool, there's people.
I don't think he noticed that people came or left.
No.
Probably not.
How was your weekend, Aunt?
It was good. I was gonna say I thought Friday night Schlong spent it at Frat Boy Fest with Dave Matthews. I spent it at the St. Vitus bar in Brooklyn with like thrash metal. So it was totally
Nice.
different.
I don't know which is worse.
Dave Matthews.
I don't know. Those thrash metal fans, very fucking annoying.
How smelly was the room?
Well,
That's a
if you
big factor in this.
if you've ever been to St. Vitus bar,
Yes.
you know that it's a very small room.
It's
And
been
some of
hot out.
it wasn't even really hot that night, but that room always gets hot, regardless of
Especially
the
when Ant's in
temperature
there.
outside. That's right. Yeah, so like it just with the energy for the headliner, like by the end of the night, the room was just full of like steam,
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. My highlight of the night. Now I went to see there were a number of bands on that bill that I wanted to see, including the headliner, but my headlight of the night is I got to meet Sonny from Hate 5-6. And if you don't know
Oh.
Now you
Yeah.
know.
If you don't know Hate 5-6 Schlong, Sonny is a videographer, and he films a bunch of like metal, mostly hardcore, bands like live shows, and it's usually single camera because he's by himself. But there are a number of times where he does multicam shoots. Yeah,
I have a
Schlong?
question here.
Yeah.
Why are my puns a problem, but Hate 5-6 is okay?
It's his name.
No, that's not his
It's-
name.
Yeah, no, it was his government name.
That is. It's on his license. I saw it. He showed me.
I'm sure.
Anyway, so he shoots a bunch of these, a bunch
that's
of
violent.
hardcore bands and stuff like that, and he happened to be at the show, and I had no idea he was filming it. I just hadn't checked his socials, but I got to meet him for the first time and say hello. And pretty cool thing for him is he's a huge Rage Against the Machine fan, and they invited him to actually shoot the first show.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so he shot the first show. He was telling me that there's a very good chance he finds himself at another show.
He made a
So
mistake.
like, why?
He made a mistake because when they invited him, he should have said, "Fuck you! I won't do what you tell me.
Oh my
Fuck you! I
God.
won't do what you tell me."
Oh my goodness. It's aggressive for a guy in a captain's hat and a robe.
That is, and a fire brewing in the background.
Fuck you! I
There
won't
you
do
go.
what you tell
Oh boy,
me.
there it works.
Much
You
better.
won't do what you tell me.
So it
you're-
was.
And I'm sweeping the deck.
You got to be watching this on video. You have to.
So your wife said shockingly not too stinky. On a scale of 1 to Frito ass guy in front of us at RoH, what is
Not even
where does
close
it
to
fall?
Frito ass guy.
Okay,
It
that's
was
pretty good.
it was honestly very mellow, unless I'm nose blind. But I really didn't catch like a terrible odor. And
That's
there was
great for
actually
you.
surprisingly a good amount of room in the main room. Like we were in the room. Gina, we saw Darkest Hour, so Gina loves Darkest Hour. I like Darkest Hour too, but Gina's a way bigger fan. So we were in the main room, and there was a lot of activity going on. So there was some room in front of us. It wasn't like we were packed in super tight.
Did you form a mosh pit?
There was a mosh pit, but I was not part of it.
Good thinking.
I did get to shove a bunch of people who kept,
That's the best part.
slamming into me. Yeah, me and the guy behind me. There was just like a kid who just kept standing in front of us and starting to throw his fists backwards. So we would just shove him. And at one point, the guy behind me, who was a good foot taller than me, was like, "You got to find a different home base, bro." And he turned around and looked at him and moved.
That's not the right room for that either. Like,
well,
I know that part.
it's also not the right band.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
weird.
not spin kicks and fucking, windmill fists. It's really not. It's circle pits and all that stuff. Totally fine. But it's just really not spin kicking. And at one point, the dude tried to cartwheel and it was so steamy in the room, his hand slipped and he fucking fell. So that was fun to see.
Mrs. Money, what do you like more, Tony Nese's abs or the Darkest Hour? Please let us know
She'll
in
tell
the
you
chat.
Tony Nese's abs. I can answer that for you. She'll put it in the chat. But that's not even a question. But yeah, so that was our Friday night. It was a lot of fun. I was very nervous. I wanted to see the opening band because I haven't seen them maybe since the mid 2000s, and we were looking for a parking spot. Thank God we were able to find a spot pretty quick. But yeah, the highlight of my night was honestly seeing Sonny from Hate 56, because that guy, I've been watching his videos for I can't tell you how long. And
Any word on a feature collab with him and Darby Avant-Garde?
no,
That's upsetting.
No. But at this point, who knows? I mean, listen, they covered him in Rolling Stone, and they just did a feature on him in the New Yorker.
That's
So
awesome.
for like a hardcore videographer to get recognized by two huge publications is pretty awesome. And literally somebody who willed his fandom into being able to like go shoot Rage Against the Machine. That's pretty
that's
awesome
rad
story.
as hell.
So, and the footage he shot of them looked really, really good. So, yeah, that was my highlight of the night, and the weekend was fun.
Good.
Now, I'm here. I've been wined. I've been dined, and now I'm in the process of 69ing.
69 me down.
Boom. So yeah. I don't know. Anybody else got anything to talk about before we dive headfirst into the choppy waters of AEW?
There's nothing I can say that's going to be louder than Ryan's presence on the stream tonight. So I think it's important that we just move right along.
All right. Well, strap in, folks, because that was just the foreplay. We're not even at the main event yet.
I want to say real quick.
Oh boy.
I knew Hate 56 had to be from around me because Hate 56 is a pun on our area code.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I wasn't thinking because I was mad that you liked his pun.
That's
but you don't like my
because
puns.
you are too distracted by the raw sexuality that's just in your room right now. You can't even focus.
And to be honest, his work is very, very good. He's very talented.
I agree.
Sunny. We love
I'm just saying.
out of 3 Sunnies. I think one of them is maybe should go to jail for a minute. But we will take Sunny from Hate 56 and we will take Sunny Kiss always, literally.
Okay, Sparks. The C may not have area codes, but I have hoes in different area codes.
Well, all I can say to you, Schlong, is you're a hook. You're a crook, Captain Hook. He knows what I'm saying. Yeah, Schlong, I don't know. The pun doesn't bother me because I like watching his videos. And I get to see a lot of shit that I wouldn't get to normally see. If that's okay.
I'm just saying, you should appreciate all puns equally.
All puns matter.
I guess.
So say it.
Let's not go there. Hold on. Let's not call the PC police in here.
Oh, don't worry. There's no PC police when the captain's around.
The
captain is in charge of his ship.
We are in international waters. There's no...
Everything goes.
That's right. Oh my God.
Sometimes Schlong is just on the next level.
I mean, most of the time, Kate, it's when he's doing characters and when he's using props. So I think we're in for
the character or is this who he really is? I have so many questions.
Oh my God. What if we're being inceptioned? If this is really him, this is a character in a character that he is in his daily life. You know what I mean? Schlong is the character, and now the captain is the next character in the character. I don't want to go one more level deep.
No.
You might never get out.
You
Okay,
always
Captain.
want to go deeper with the captain.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's dive deeper into AEW. And why don't we start with Fyter Fest Week 1, Rampage, because that was a nice show. Running through this real quick. House of Black versus the Dark Order. House of Black defeats the Dark Order. And then after the match, Darby Allin comes out and is able to take out Brody King. Sting also makes an appearance and has a stare down with Malachi Black, while Darby Allin and Brody King continue to kind of brawl. So clearly setting up some stuff. I don't know if it's going to pay off, but I kind of like it.
I like it a lot. I want to see Miro versus every single one of those three guys. So, bring it. Also, there are reports that Kenny Omega is coming back soon. And there were rumors, not really rumors, Tony Khan basically said if they were going to do trios titles, they wanted Kenny to be back for it. So if he's coming back soon, and we're setting up all these little trios, that could be a fun little bout. A little 6-man action. I know that's a lot for episode 69. Like a 6-man is a little aggressive, but
We only need 9 more.
I knew today was going to be the best day.
It is. Just all day, I'm like, it's 69.
It's half of it's just the voice.
It really is. He's just.
You know, I
keeping
started counting down at episode 64. 5 weeks I've been talking about.
We've been building it up. What's amazing is people are either going to be really let down because there was nothing special planned. We just kept building it up to nothing.
Somebody planned something special.
That's right. But that's what I'm saying is we as a group, we're building it up, and then it was like we got nothing. We're just going to do a regular show, and we're going to throw in some more puns about sexual positions than we've ever had before.
The captain does not build up without delivering a solid climax.
Well, that's true, because if you just keep building up, Captain, eventually
you get
frustrated, and you start to feel a little blue.
Exactly.
You do.
The captain
With
does not
balls
like blue.
as blue as the sea.
That's right.
Real quick, Eric Freed says he's concerned that the captain isn't wearing pants this episode.
He should
I
be.
would say you should be.
Yeah.
If you had a camera, it would be confirmed.
It's 100% he's not wearing pants. He's literally just in that robe. It's not even tied shut.
Oh, it's tied shut because I want to be able to pull it apart.
Oh my God.
What is happening?
I'm starting to hate the captain.
Captain went a little too far that time. I got too deep.
I didn't know.
It goes, oh my God, I'm starting to hate the cat.
He didn't know where he was going with that one. That was the best part. Is he just kept. It was just like a bad improv.
You could see on his face him say it and be like, nope.
Well, a little insight to the captain. He was going one place, realized that'd be a big mistake, and backed quickly away.
I have a question, Ryan, before we keep moving on with Rampage. Excuse me. Is there any chance that if we get some tickets to Grand Slam, because those go on sale this week, we've got to figure out who's getting tickets, but is there any chance the captain makes an appearance at Grand Slam?
Well, it's really solid on some dry land, so we'll have to see. I don't want to make promises before I know for sure. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I was properly addressed on the stream. My name is now the captain.
You need to sail the Hudson to Grand Slam or don't bother showing up at all.
Yeah, take the ferry.
I will say, you may hear some horn. What the hell do ships blow? Are they horns?
Horn?
I feel like you should know.
It's a horn, Captain.
You'll hear some horns, and then down the ramp comes the captain.
My God, I feel like you should have known that. And just the
Captain doesn't
breaking of
concern himself with such small details.
the breaking of the voice really got me. You were like, "Wait, what is it?
Yeah, what?
What is it that they blow?"
The captain breaks the fourth wall often.
Oh boy, we've
Oh,
really
Captain, my
we've
Captain.
really inflated his ego on this one.
We did.
Kate, we told him we loved it, and now he's just digging. He's digging in. He's not
Let's
going
be fair
to.
here. The captain started this off by calling himself the captain. He was dug in before you ever got here, baby.
The confirmation didn't help. I know that much. So yes, Kate, we have it in news and notes for later, but yes, they are lining some things up that perhaps will say, there's a 6-man, maybe, 6-man tag match that they can build out of this. Who knows? We had Darby Allin and Brody King tonight that we have to talk about still. Maybe some more things happened. Stay tuned for the second half of the show to find out. Let's see what's going on. Oh my goodness.
Well, if it's not
pause.
Matthew, what up? Oh, your mic's not
Mike
on.
hear
is
you,
not
Matthew.
working again. My God. It's just like Matt to be the last guy to show up at the gangbang.
It's so true. Still muted. There it is.
Try it now, Matthew. Now he's just staring at the screen.
What's up, cocksuckers? That's what
trying
we
to
do here.
There you go. There it is.
Hi, Matt.
I fucked it all up for Monday night too.
Happy episode 69. Nice.
I told you I would be here. I said I would stop by.
You're
so-
here. How are you doing, pizza truck man, when it's fucking 100 degrees out?
Seriously.
Ooh.
I mean, it's 10 of 11, so I just got out of the shower.
Have you
I
eaten
would've
dinner with
taken
your
a-
lovely wife?
My wife isn't home.
She's not.
No, she's at a handgun competition.
Sweet. And now you're at a hand job competition.
I'll be asleep
So
by the time she gets home.
Sleep jacking away.
right
no,
past
no
it.
sleep jacket. I like your hat, Ryan.
Thank you. I'm the captain tonight.
Wow, I feel like I should turn my lights off while you talk.
I mean, hold on.
Talk to me, Ryan.
Things have gotten sexy
Holy
Here.
shit, Evan.
on the Mark Order podcast. It's episode 69. We've got sexual Shining Wizards Matt.
Oh,
How are you doing tonight?
good. How you guys?
We're good.
We're good.
All right. Well, I just wanted to stop and say hello
We appreciate it. We
hello.
love seeing you.
because I said I would, and I want to live up to my thing.
Matt,
Yo,
you're here so I can talk about figures now.
Kate hates that.
No, I'm so excited.
Are you excited for the CM Punk figure?
I am excited. For.
Ah, gotcha,
Okay,
sucker.
go.
Did you
And the
order
Owen
one?
Hart one? It's weird. His head comes right off.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Kate, did you order a CM Punk figure?
I did.
Nice. Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah, so they did they did release the CM Punk figure today. That was a ringside exclusive. And then
his little, did you see his little python statue guy?
no,
There's a little statue.
with the figure?
Not with the figure, separate. But it looks
Oh.
pretty cool. Someone tagged me.
Oh, like the little Lego ones?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, those
Pretty
go on in minutes. Those San Diego Comic-Con exclusives.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to get my hands on other Comic-Con stuff and it did not work out.
I got my noon, baby. The
So,
Rip and Zeus one
oh shit.
from No Holds Barred.
Nice.
Mrs. Money said Kate's first figure. This will be my first AEW figure, but I have the CM Punk Nexus figure, which is worth like $300. And Matt gave me an Eddie Guerrero figure, so this will be my third figure, but my first AEW figure. I'm very
Well,
excited.
sweet.
Yeah.
They did the CM Punk. I don't know if they sold them out yet, but they did
Ryan,
the
you
CM.
have a fucking robe on and like no undershirt on. You're really
He's got
He's
no
living the
pants on.
gimmick, brother.
I can't hear him at all.
He's
Yeah, I
muted.
know.
It's okay. It's preferred.
Sorry, didn't want to cough into the microphone.
Oh my god. So Matt, you got all the figures: the CM Punk ringside, the John Moxley shop AEW, and then there was, well, they're not like limited, but they did the Owen Hart one, and then they did the, what is it, Superior series or whatever they're calling it.
Yes.
What was that?
More
Kenny
like
Omega
inferior
and,
series.
we're talking about Kenny by God Omega. Thank you. That's not.
I had no idea he was in
69
it.
me down on episode 69
Seriously.
of all episodes. 69 me down himself. How dare you? They should give you a Kenny Omega one that's like with like all the parts he had surgery on pop out. Like you could pop out his back.
His hernia.
I really thought, Kate, you were gonna make like they should give him one where you're doing 69, and I was just gonna have to explain to you that you can turn the action figure upside down.
No, I know how that works.
Okay.
I'm blonde, but I'm not that stupid.
Ryan, here's my question, because you've been talking a lot about turning things upside down. Are you talking about a standing 69? You have to have a lot of strength for that, my friend.
First of all, the captain is quite strong.
Wow.
Second of all, the bed is, I view the top of the bed as up. So going upside down would be going face down to the bottom of the bed. That's all. It's just directional.
I mean, a standing 69 is just a tombstone pile driver.
It's true.
Damn straight. And when you're done, she's done.
I don't know if I like
Or
it.
he.
Well, in my case, it's a she, but absolutely.
Matt, go ahead. Finish that thought. I heard it coming through. I want to get the whole thing.
No, I said I'm not sure if I like this.
Thank you.
So far, we're
I keep
about
expecting it
30-70
to-
on liking the captain,
That's right.
but we're running with it.
It's
a mixed
it's a little creepy.
It is
I
a
keep-
mixed bag.
I mean,
keep
usually I am the king of the creep, but this is like weird.
No, Matt, you want to go creepy? The hat comes off.
What?
That's even
I
worse.
hope-
For some reason, Matt, the hat being off makes it worse. And then when he talks in his normal voice.
Yeah, because now I'm just like some weird dude who invited you to his house.
In a robe.
Come
He's
in,
the-
come in. This is perfectly
Yeah.
normal.
You know what it reminds me of? Not what you remind me of. What this specifically reminds me of is, you know, in old school when the guy shows up and just goes, "Hi, I'm here for the gangbang." That's what you kind of look like. Like you're too friendly to be that creepy, but it's definitely creepy.
I feel like I belong at one of Frank Reynolds' gangbangs. Or like
You're just there
You
for the
do.
buffet.
just there for the buffet.
Without the hat, you do kind of look like the old guy from Family Guy. But you have to talk like this.
Can't do
Say.
accents. Woo wee.
Say, what's the long face?
Come back here, Chris.
Oh man, Matt, it's a weird night. It's episode 69, so we're in a funky mood.
I love it. I'm all for it. I'm glad you guys are funking
Gotta
it
get
up.
wined. You gotta get dined.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get 69.
That's right.
That's it.
I hate this.
Also,
I hate to say the obvious, Kate, but there's only one of us here that anyone wants to do that to, and it's you.
what?
I mean,
Whoa.
look, I know how wrestling fans are, dude. The three of us, the three bears, nobody wants to wine dine and 69 us.
Have you seen the captain? Trust
Have
me.
you underestimated how creepy some wrestling fans are?
I
Because
don't know, man. I've seen myself. Like
there's a
I won't let
demographic out there.
I won't let my wife go near my butt. So
That's your own mistake.
no, it's not. So I'm saving her. I know what goes on down there. Okay.
He is a known pan shitter and sleepjacker.
Hey, it's been a while on both fronts. Much longer on the sleep jacking.
That
Very
we know of. That we
Hey, you
know.
don't
of.
That's true.
necessarily know.
No one, she hasn't told me.
That's fair.
Can I say one thing? Because I see Shining Wizards Kevin in the chat.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin!
I also want to say, actually, I'm changing his name. He's no longer Shining Wizards Kevin. He is Michael K. Show Kevin. Because, Matt, we texted you. We happened to be in the car Friday night around the 6 o'clock hour.
Oh, I forgot to bring this up to him.
Well, around the 6 o'clock hour, I'm sitting. Gina and I were driving to Brooklyn, and I happened to have ESPN radio on. It was the Michael K show. I guess it was an anniversary show for them. I don't get to listen to them every day, so I don't know. But they're doing something. They're getting ready to go to break, and before they do their ENN, their news segment. And all of a sudden, I hear Rosenberg go, "Before break, let's go to one of our callers, loyal listener, Shining Wizards Kevin." And I hear Kevin's voice come through the radio, and I couldn't believe it.
Nice. I know he gets his tweets read quite a bit, but I've never heard him call in.
I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't hear it. He sounded
What
great.
Ant's not telling you is he started speaking like the captain as soon as he got on
No,
that phone.
No, he did not. No.
That is a one-man band, my friend.
Yes.
There's only one captain, and it's Derek Jr.
So big ups to Michael K show Kevin.
There it is.
That's all he needs. That's his big one.
Oh yeah.
On the anniversary show.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, that didn't come up Monday, huh? Boy, you guys don't listen.
No, you Gina texted me Friday. What was I doing?
Because I was driving.
Sleep jacking.
Somewhere. Oh, I was doing an Indian wedding where they were 2.5 hours late.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was like,
Oh
yep.
boy.
All right, well, I leave in half an hour, so good luck.
Take a pizza now, or I'm out of here.
That's what I was doing.
Fun.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why it didn't come up Monday. Monday was a full show. We had a full show Monday.
Yeah, you did.
Was you had a guest on Monday, right?
We did not.
That fell through. I didn't get to listen. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Next week is the only one that matters.
Eric Watts is super excited. I talked to him today. He is super excited. He's like, you have like a promo piece or something I could put on my social media? And I'm like, I'll work on it tonight when I get home.
Shining Wizards Team 2000.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who are super excited to hear about his TNA run. I don't know much about it because I wasn't watching TNA. People are excited about this, though.
He's got a lot
Nobody more than me.
Came up in the business, his dad legendary, then he's got WCW, then he's got Techno Team 2000, and he's just started TNA. Like, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Chad Fortune could never.
I gotta bring this up real quick from the chat. Mike Peterson wants to know why Ryan looks like a broke-ass tugboat. How dare you, Mike Peterson? This is a very
That's offensive,
special
Mike
episode.
Peterson. This is the captain speaking, and he is offended.
Just so Eric Freeds know, Eric Watts was not the demon with Vampiro. If he's talking WCW.
Sorry.
Was
Eric
a demon.
Freeds.
Demon was Dale Torborg's kid. I think
Just
was Dale.
everybody's kids running around.
That's right.
Well, no, maybe he was Dale Tor. His father was a baseball coach. The Demon. Jeff Torborg was his father. The Demon.
The demon.
The Kiss Demon.
Well,
You don't remember? Yeah, it was Dale Torborg. Yeah, he was the Demon.
yes, I do remember Kiss's run in WCW. It was not good.
No, it wasn't. Megadeth played on WCW too once.
Oh, boy.
Crush them.
I'm a huge Megadeth fan.
Oh, their new fucking shit rules.
Does it? He's still really sore about Metallica, huh?
I mean, can you blame him?
I mean, listen, all you had to do was not fuck up.
Well, that's what the 80s were, man. Everyone fucked up.
Yeah, but
Oh
if
my
you're too much of
god,
a fuck
all
up for
three wizards in
Metallica,
the house.
Tony should be asleep. I don't know what he's
Tony's
doing.
awake.
My
He's
God.
probably jerking off the committee, so that's why he's up so late.
That makes sense.
I mean, you know.
I mean, if you gotta
must
jerk
get the
off, you can
committee
just do it in
pleased.
your sleep, though.
That's true. Even if you're going to jerk somebody else off, it's better when you're sleeping.
Jerk off in your sleep once, and now here we go.
That's a pretty
Look, we were
note.
talking about the Vince McMahon jerk off thing, right? If you were falling off a cliff and you had a heart on,
Oh my God.
yes,
you would grab
Go
it,
on.
right, just to save your friend.
yeah. And then you're like,
Wait
what
a
would I do
minute.
for $7.5 million? I'm like, fuck you, put all of them in my mouth.
Wait a minute.
Really, in the mouth.
That's where it went for the $7.5 million. It was where
I
you were
don't know,
going.
man. How you gotta look at yourself in the morning?
Did you say if
Yeah.
you were falling off a cliff, would you
If
grab
Ant, if you were falling off a cliff and you had a boner, and the only way to save you was to grab you by your boner, I would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd
And I
welcome
give a
it.
couple tugs to make you feel good.
I don't know about the tugs.
You'd have to tug to keep me on the cliff.
Oh no, you're slipping. Oh no, you're slipping.
You're slipping
Oh, no,
again.
You're slipping.
Hold on, let me get something for my grip. Baby
is
oil.
this
That's
show?
the opposite.
Tony's super excited. Ryan rules. Put him in
Put 'em
your
in your
mouth.
mouth. Well, you
Oh
guys
my
are like, what? Oh, 7.5. I wouldn't do it. It's like, fuck you.
Tugboat
For 7.5,
Schlong.
absolutely.
There it is. Tug a lug.
See, they
The
get it.
tugboat.
Give a little toot toot, Ryan.
Toot, toot.
How was
There you
AEW tonight? Was it a good show? I'm excited
Very
to
good.
watch at some point.
Except for
It
the ending.
was. It was a good show. I had a few problems. We'll talk about it in the next segment. But overall, it was an entertaining show. A lot of corporate synergy with fucking Shark Week. Jesus.
Well, yeah, that's
A lot of that.
that's what TBS wanted, right?
And The
I'm
Rock.
very, very excited that Ricky Starks is getting a push.
Yes.
He's getting some
I-
more screen time, and I'm very excited about that.
Are you guys excited for Death Before Dishonor?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
The way that card
I
is shaping
wanna
up.
beat
Wheeler
Death
Yuta
Before
versus
Dishonor.
Daniel Garcia. Get the fuck out of here. I'm super excited for the pure match.
Ant heard it.
Dishonor.
Yeah.
It was so dumb.
Of course it was.
It was fantastic.
If I no sell it, it's pretty fucking dumb.
They made some matches tonight that look good.
Claudio versus Gresham will be incredible.
Did you see your boys in a one met?
I see. I know nothing.
The Righteous
Oh, really?
defending
Yes,
the
they
tag
did
to
announce
the 6-man.
Vincent and Dutch and
Yes.
It's
Bateman?
the Righteous versus what's his name? And I like him. I'm blanking on his name.
Dalton Castle and the boys.
Yeah.
oh no shit, that's
Yep.
awesome.
I bet they go over. I bet it's Dalton and the boys.
So
That was
Yeah. Although it would be nice to see friend of the Shining Wizards, Vincent, hang on to a belt.
yeah, but he's still running around Impact doing his thing over there.
It's true.
Yeah, and they already had Dalton on Battle of the Belts, so I'm just guessing that they're high on him. But yeah, that should be a really good card. Claudio versus Gresham. Daniel Garcia versus Yuta.
Mhm.
FTR versus Briscoes 2.
2 out of 3 falls.
2 or 3 falls. That'll be ridiculous. Great promo from Dax and Cash tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on that card? Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal.
Yep.
That's gonna be
Mike
great.
Mike
Peterson.
Peterson is going.
Hell yeah, it's in Lowell, Massachusetts, right? Good for you, man.
Yes.
Get there.
I wish.
Should be really
Yeah, but
good. I'm
we'll-
excited. Mercedes versus Serena. Jeez, how did I forget that?
Yep.
I don't know.
Who's Willow going against again?
I don't remember. They did announce it. That's in the free the first hour.
Allison Kay. Willow.
Yes.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and
That's gonna
so
be
they're putting
great.
together quite a card.
For a card that's kind of out of nowhere, that's gonna be a great card. Like that's a strong pay-per-view, so I'm very excited for that.
Gotta
I was
walk
pumped when I
before
heard
you
the
run.
Righteous were going.
Yeah. Nice to see some of the old blood in there.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be a fun show. Schlong, you want to commit to an after show?
I cannot.
This son of a bitch.
I will. I believe it or not, I will not be home. I will be at my sister's dog sitting.
This guy's gonna be dog sitting.
Why can't you record while sitting on top of dogs?
Yeah. You're just sitting on the
I
dog.
mean, I could try to do it
Are
off
you
a
going to be in
laptop.
the
I just
same
don't know how to
outfit
work.
while you're on top of the dog?
Are you gonna
How
have
dare
peanut
you.
butter?
Dare you insult the captain's honor?
I was asking. That was an honest question.
Are you dog sitting on the boat? There's questions.
No, dog. Because then what if they jump off? Then they're in the water.
Wait,
I could lose
your
them.
sister lives on a boat?
Well, he's the
the
captain,
cap-
so I was wondering.
Yeah, man. She lives
Yeah,
on
but
a,
he's going to his
ferry boat.
sister's to dog sit.
I will be wearing normal clothes, hanging out with 2 giant labs.
Just how he likes it.
No, they're fun, but they are rowdy.
This took a weird turn.
It really did.
I mean, it's
I
been
don't even
weird
know
all night.
why.
Yeah,
I just listen. You were letting me go. I was going with it. I was seeing where I could take it, and I couldn't take it anywhere. So there
he
we
just
go.
stopped yes-anding. He just was like, "Nope, I'll be in regular clothes with 2 labs." Look, okay.
Well, it was either that or bestiality. He had to make a choice.
Listen, yeah, you were not giving me a lot of options here, guys.
I asked you about peanut butter. You didn't run with that one.
The bestiality. I'm not going. Captain has standards.
Oh, that's the line.
Yes, human or
That's
above.
that's an important line, I would say.
Teach their
This
own.
is a wrestling podcast.
Listen,
at
Matt,
some point.
I know that you at times have been known to
we were
experiment with some
talking
animals,
wrestling.
but the rest of us,
Wait, what did I do? I never did nothing to no animals.
I don't know. I've heard about you and some goats.
No, I've never been around a goat.
The fact that he's thinking about it so hard is amazing.
I know. I got lambasted the other night because I didn't know how to walk a cow.
Why
Well,
would
it
you know how to
wasn't
walk
walk-
a cow?
No. I can fill everybody in here. Matt, we were sitting around the bonfire. Kate, no sold us, so
Dead.
you know. Shining Wizard Tony saying Matt's been hogging before.
Is
He's got
that
me on that one.
what is that profile picture? Is that a stack of pancakes with a head scratcher on
Oh,
top
who
of it?
fucking who knows whatever?
Actually,
It's not his dumb duck, so who cares?
I like the duck.
You like the duck quacky?
Yeah, why
What
not?
is that?
It looks like pancakes.
I don't know.
Hey,
Tony,
asshole,
what's your
what's your-
avatar?
Oh, it's banana pancakes.
Oh, it's
Nannerpuss.
Nannerpuss.
Yeah, he's a fucking nannerpuss. Fucking
What a
asshole.
weirdo. So anyway, I'll fill everybody in on Matt talking about walking a cow. It's not exactly correct. There was discussion happening that somebody was doing something with, like an internship, and it had to do with how animals are being moved around, like cattle and livestock. And Matt was
typically
like,
with their
well,
legs.
but Matt's question was, how do you move a cow? And it was like, you put them on a truck.
Walk.
Like, I don't know what kind of question that is. He's like, well, how do you get them on the truck?
That's
Like,
a
you
fair
just
question.
fucking walk them onto
Because
the
you don't
truck.
do this to a cow. That doesn't work for a cow. What do you move?
you could-
Move? They don't come running.
You actually know the answer to this. You heard them.
Why?
It was like having a kindergartner ask questions. It really was. It's like, what if the cow doesn't move? How does the cow sleep? Do they lay down?
I don't
Do
know how
they
a fucking
stand?
cow gets transported. I had a lot of questions.
That's fair. Still not as bad as do you have to put air in the air compressor?
How do you refill the air in the compressor?
Was that me?
That was you.
buddy.
I don't know. I forget.
And then he was like, fucking magnets. How do they work?
I know how magnets work.
Well, that's your boys, the ICP.
That's right.
You're a juggalo. You should have known that.
I'm a juggalo.
Down with the
Yeah,
clown
I
till
know.
you're 6 feet in the ground, bro. I
And
know.
that was one of their
Well,
songs. Fucking
I was
magnets.
listening
How
to
do
some
they
clowns
work?
the other day.
What were you doing?
I was listening to some clowns the other day.
It's not
Who?
what I thought he said.
On Monday
Okay.
night? Nailed it.
That's right.
No, I try and tune them out.
Just here to pat myself, guys. It's fine.
He tunes out the B show. Well, it is what it is.
It's very hurtful.
You
Can't
had
we
a
just
good
be
run.
on the same playing field?
What do you say?
Can't we all just be on the same playing field? Why is it got to be a contest?
No, we're better. We know it. Kate, we're better.
Correct, yes.
Is
we are.
this
Schlong,
show
who's
live
better?
on the rant?
What?
Is this show live on the rant?
Who cares? We're on
No,
YouTube.
that's why we're better.
Yes, I was gonna say if it's not, then you're better. Nonsense bullshit. Fuck you, Tony. Your rant.
You just wait until we buy the network, and then we're really talking.
Take
We're gonna buy
the
'em out.
network. Enjoy it.
We're gonna own the whole tape library, and then we're gonna start our own streaming service.
What you're gonna the whole 2.5 wrestlers? Enjoy that.
Yeah,
Fuck
but then what's gonna happen?
MBW is our developmental.
That's right.
I think that's fair. And then
Oh.
we own the network.
Matt,
What I love is 1 week
Hold
on
on,
the
hold on,
commercials,
hold
you're
on,
going to hear
Schlong.
about the captain.
Schlong, hold on. Matt, Are there any updates on MBW? Can we get any updates?
Let me send Jamie a message right now.
Oh boy.
Why is Tony on a bus?
I'm sorry. Who are you texting? I thought you said what's his face?
No, I said Jamie.
No. Who are you texting?
Scuggs.
There you go. JP Scuggs.
Kayfabe, bro.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just saying, when we buy the network, the commercial is going to suddenly have a show for the captain.
Nope.
For the captain? I'm telling you, Schlong, if you do a captain show, I'm here for it.
3 a.m. to 6 a.m. slot.
Captain overnights and under the covers with the captain.
I would really be counting on people not listening because there'd just be mostly dead air.
Mostly dead air. Come on.
I want to know why Tony's on the bus, and then can we talk about wrestling again?
No, it's a Phil Ray joke because Phil's the only one who listens on the fucking rant.
Oh.
The
Impact
rant.
Player.
Yeah, the rant's
Phil
like
Ray.
fucking MySpace. It's archaic. I don't know why we even fucking bother anymore. Nobody listens on the fucking rant.
Yeah, it does look like a GeoCities website. I tried to listen once.
Is it still under construction? Of course it is.
Yeah.
We did get an important question here. If we buy the network, are we going to defund the PC police? Yes, that is the first thing on the
Agenda.
We have to, or I'm in big
Don't
trouble.
even run the fucking commercials. Just fucking let 2 minutes of dead air.
No, it's okay. We enjoy
Captain
that.
can
Is
talk
a
for 2
great.
minutes.
No, now it's a gimmick.
It is a gimmick.
Terrible.
We take
The
it.
commercials suck.
Tonight might be the night, guys, where we leave the cameras on while we're listening to the commercials because it is a hoot.
It is wild.
And a holler.
It is. And then Kate gets up right before we go back on the air, and she's not here
Yeah.
when we're going live.
I need another water at that exact point all the time.
I know. We were talking wrestling before we went way off
Sorry.
the rails.
I bothered. I interrupted. I
it's
just
not
wanted
you.
to say hello.
No,
We
we're
love
only
it for
talking about
you.
Friday night too, Matt. So
I didn't watch Friday night. Wait, what was Friday night?
Rampage.
Rampage.
Gresham beat Moriarty, and then Claudio came
And
out.
Kurt.
yes, that's right. That's where the best thing, Matt, is that's exactly where we were when
Lucha Brothers Private Party.
Serena.
There was also
and
Tony wants to know, is Ryan showing taco meat?
He sure is.
absolutely. He's not wearing pants. So yes, Gresham defeated Lee Moriarty to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship, and then in the interview afterward, Gresham said he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and that's when Claudio comes out to interrupt. So that's how we're setting up Claudio and Gresham for Death Before Dishonor. That should be a fun match.
Hell yeah, it should.
Let's see. Daniels also sent a warning to Jay Lethal. And then we also had Matt Athena and Chris Statlander versus the Renegade Twins.
I heard that was like fucking 30 seconds long.
It was not long. I was just glad they didn't try to do twin magic again because you can tell who's who.
Yeah.
Twin Magic. I hate the fucking bells.
They don't look the same.
They really don't. But
Doesn't
that was
matter.
all to facilitate the Serena split on Mercedes. So that's good. I think Serena
yes.
Deeb should be your ROH Women's Champion by the end of the weekend. Like, I think that makes sense because who do you want working with developing talent more than Serena Deeb? I mean, maybe in the world. Like, I feel like that's a perfect call.
Yeah, I don't know how that match is going to go. I mean, I could see them leaving that on Mercedes, but if they give it to Deeb, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Layla Gray did a run in after the match. Jade Cargill and Kira Hogan come in. Stoke gets to Lee Moriarty backstage to try to get him away from Seidel, but Seidel tells Hathaway to take a hike, and he books Moriarty versus Dante Martin next week on Rampage, so that should be fun.
Hell yeah. That should be a great match.
And then the Ass family are in the ring to explain their recent actions, and the Acclaimed come out, and Daddy Ass asks for one last scissor me, but it doesn't happen. Bowens kicks him, and then a brawl ensues. Yes, Matt. Scissor me Xerxes. So that was the Ass Boys. So there's clearly building to that there. And then we get the main event, which is the Lucha Brothers. I'm sorry. It's time for the main event.
Thank you.
Sorry. We get the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. The Lucha Brothers defeat Private Party. Man, I'll just say this about that match, guys. I don't know what's up with Private Party, but they didn't look great in this match. This whole match looked sloppy to me, but like Mark Quinn especially looked like he didn't even want to be there. Like I was a little surprised.
I think it's lack of reps. Like they just haven't been wrestling on TV a bunch. And I think like I don't think Phoenix and Penta are capable of having a bad match, but I think it was just like too much for them. Like I don't think they were able to fit with the pace of how Phoenix and Penta work very well.
It was just surprising to see Private Party just look so blasé about everything in the ring. But the other thing too is it looked like Phoenix jacked up his knee. They said everything's fine. He shouldn't miss any time. But for a minute I was like, oh shit, he's hurt again.
Again.
I know. Every time he comes back, he gets hurt again. But apparently everything's fine. He'll be okay. And yeah, it was just a weird match. They should, Kyle K. Sparks said it, they should put Private Party in Ring of Honor. They could use the reps in the smaller houses. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. They certainly
Them and Bear Country should go to Ring of Honor.
100%. I'm good with Bear Country going there too, because I'm tired of seeing them get squashed on main shows.
They're really good.
That was Rampage on Friday night. So that rounded out week 1 of Fyter Fest, and we had week 2 of Fyter Fest this week. A couple episodes Dark and Dynamite tonight. We're going to talk about that. We need to take a water break. There's been a lot of foreplay going on. We're going to really get down to business when we get back. I know that much. Matt, are you going to take off, get some rest, eat something?
Yeah, I got to make this. No, you're not going to get a live sleep jacking show, David Bauer.
I mean, we could.
No, I
1 to 3 a.m.
I don't know when it happens or how often it happens, and it's been a long time since it's happened, so it would be very boring.
That's fine.
I've got the name.
Blame the people for asking.
No, I'm not mad about it.
I've got the show name at the very least. Sleep Jack with Lumberjack Matt.
Oh yeah, got a lot of wood to cut, man. There's a lot of wood
in his pants.
Hi-oh, episode 69.
Hey-oh!
Matthew, before we take a break and you take off, why don't you tell people what's going on Monday nights?
Every Monday night, you can find me and Tony and Kevin, the Shining Wizards collectively, on all forms of Wizards social media at Wizards Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch.
But what if I want to know only about New Japan specifically, Matt?
The Bread Club is happening on Fightful Overbooked. Me and Kieran will be back in 2 weeks because we're trying to get it somewhere in the middle of the G1. And they got it. It's the biggest field ever, but they got 4 blocks of 7, and it's really spaced out weird. So not this Monday, but the 1st of August is the next time we record, because I think that'll be in the middle of the G1. So that'll be happening on Fightful Overbooked about every 2-3 weeks. So make sure you subscribe and leave a comment and tell everybody you like the Bread Club. Monday nights, Wizards Podcast, about 6:50-ish, youtube.com.
Who's your guest this week?
/ The Shining Wizards. This week, Eric Watts in the house. Bill Watts' son. You know him from WCW. You know him from WWF.
No. What do people really know him from?
You know what? It's weird because I think...
No. What do they know him from?
I think I relate most
to the light bulb company.
Techno Team 2000, but I think there's a lot of people who really like his TNA stuff.
I just want you to say Techno Team 2000.
That's just because the people want some TNA.
There's going to be a lot of Techno Team 2000 talk on Monday night. So
can you just play a lot of techno from the year 2000 while you talk to him?
I don't know if they're going to run into any copyright strikes with that.
You probably are.
But
I mean,
Matthew, what if people?
Aubrey took down the video we put on our YouTube a couple weeks ago.
No.
The video of her fucking stealing the spotlight during all that we played on our YouTube.
That got flagged?
Oh, when she went through that whole thing where she pretended to be somebody else. You know, that gimmick where she used a fake name to take out all the AEW botches down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually believe that story, to be quite honest.
I mean, doesn't surprise me. Yeah, we were one of the people that got
Sweet.
copyright strike.
You're on the radar. Good for you.
It was funny when it happened.
Oh, it was hilarious.
So, are you guys going to do Tony's Roast on the 29th? Will you be part of that wonderful show, that train wreck?
It's the first time hearing about it.
Yes, I
I'll
will.
do it.
Well, I didn't want to send a text message and then not show up tonight, but I'm here, so I figured I'd bring it up now.
So what's going on the 29th? What, 29th of
August.
July? Of August?
Of August. It's the 600th episode of the Shining Wizard Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, my God.
And because Tony won the picks, he wants us to roast him.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go dark.
Get it? So,
Is it happening in Studio A?
it's a great question, AntMoney. I don't know.
I can tell you this. If it's happening in Studio A, I will 100% be there.
If it's happening in Studio A, I will show up in a ball gown to roast Tony.
I could show up in a suit as well. It's a formal occasion.
Do you happen to have a powder blue tuxedo?
I don't, but we could do something, Kate, where we make it look like one of the Dean Martin roasts.
You're fat and your heart sucks. Boom, roasted.
Boom. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to watch other roasts and rewrite the same material with Tony's name in it.
My wife's calling me. I'm going to go.
All right,
Nice
Matt,
to see you,
congrats on the
Matt.
Bread Club, too. Amazing you got Kieran Culkin to do a wrestling podcast. Amazing.
Thank you, guys. I'll catch you on the flippity flop.
See you later.
Smooth sailing,
69.
soldier.
Oh, boy.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Did that go in?
Flippity flop.
Well, as we said, we're going to step aside. We've been going at it for an hour here on episode 69.
Wow.
So we
It's a
need
very
to replenish.
satisfying hour, you know?
It has. We need to replenish our fluids.
Do we ever?
Stretch a little bit, maybe powder, towel off.
Grab something to eat, you know?
Yeah.
Got hungry after an hour.
We'll hit the
of
buffet.
69.
Yeah, we'll hit the buffet at the Frank Reynolds orgy.
Smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, I mean, why
More
not?
than one.
Who? And while we're gone, as Matt said, he's part of the Shining Wizards, B show of the network, mediocre for over almost 600 episodes, blah, 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 blah. But again, Shining Wizards network for now. So the keyword there is network, which means there are other shows on it. Are we all aware of that here?
Soon to be renamed The Captain and Friends.
What is a network?
Oh my goodness, sorry. My internet just crapped out for a second. But I heard Schlong say soon to be renamed The Captain and Friends. I mean, I kind of like it. Yeah, so a network, Kate, means that there are other shows that are part of the overall sort of thing. Sure, there are some shows that we enjoy. There are some shows that we wish would die in a fiery car wreck. But we're all part of one network. And we love being part of a network up until the moment that we take it over, like Shane McMahon buying WCW.
Is there any way I could find a description of said other shows on the network?
Well, Kate, why don't you strap in, get some water, towel off, replenish your fluids, stretch a little bit, because we're going to go long. We're going to go hard in the next segment. But for now, take a listen about some of these other fine shows, mostly fine shows that are part of the Shining Wizards Network. Mostly fine shows. And again, I welcome anybody listening in the chat to feel free to put in the ones you think we love and the ones you think we want to die a fiery, terrible death. But
Ant hates Canadians. That's all
here
you
you
need
go.
to know.
Take a listen about some other part of the Shizards Network.
Everyone knows a lot of things can change in the span of 10 years. But when it comes to professional wrestling podcasting, one thing is still guaranteed. The Shining Wizards is the only place to get all the latest wrestling news, interviews with the greatest guests, and of course, tons of laughs in discussing the world of wrestling. The show is still available on Monday nights at 7 p.m. East on rantdmradio.com and Rant Entertainment Media on the TuneIn app. And it's still available on all podcasting platforms. To check us out, head over to shiningwizards.com, where it's still wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments.
Horns up, everyone. When on the Shining Wizards Network, be sure every Friday to check out Radioactive Metal. Radioactive Metal is one of the longest running podcasts on the interweb. And every week we bring you a fist full of metal, including interviews with all your favorite artists, discuss all the metal news, and feature the best tunes on the air today. So grab a Lemmy, join your cool Uncle Snowy and co-host Aaron in the pit.
Your recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment broadcasting from the current to the way back. Join the Impact player Phil Brea and the Portuguese Man of War Choppy for the Turnbuckle Throwbacks Wrestling Podcast. Live every week on rantemradio.com. Get all our episodes over at iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Audio Boom, Google Play, ShiningWizardsNetwork.com, and TurnbuckleThrowbacks.com.
Are you tired of being told what to think and believe by Hollywood elites and politicians who just don't care about you?
Tired of not getting the truth when you watch the news?
Tired of trying to figure out what pronoun to use?
Tired of mob mentality when all you want to do is think for yourself and make up your own mind?
That's where we come in. This is Justin.
And Vince.
Your hosts of Inconclusive Breakdown.
We are a weekly anti-PC podcast bringing you entertainment and current event news without any spin.
If you want to truly stay informed on what's going on in the world, then give us a listen every Sunday, anywhere you get podcasts, at least till Zuckerberg and Twitter Jack deplatform us.
And as always, we're proud members of the Shining Wizards Network.
Tired of the PC police telling you what you can and cannot say? Want a show that travels back to the 80s and 90s, where the badass hosts have beaten down cancel culture on 3 separate occasions and carried on to gloat about it? Since 2013, The Midnight Jury is that show. Travel back to the malls and arcades, pop in your VHS, and join us where the 80s and 90s return from the dead. Conan, tell them where to find us.
WLWstudios.com, home of the Midnight Jury podcast, hosted by Midnight Mike and Calvin Brody.
Also available on all major podcast platforms via the Shining Wizards Network, and join in the conversation on Twitter at Midnight Jury.
What's up, wrestling fans? You want something awesome? Check out Wrestling Night in Canada here on the Shining Wizards Network. We're 3 Canadian metalheads uniting for the love of pro wrestling. Every episode we go over all the latest news and special events with the odd unique interview as well. So grab a cold one and check out Wrestling Night in Canada, eh?
All right, we're back here on the Shining Wizards Network. Yes, Schlong.
Didn't there used to be Australians?
The
2 guys who didn't know if they were brothers?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one. Unless I'm playing the wrong ones. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe at one point they were, and maybe they are no longer part of the network. I don't know. But yeah, they weren't sure if they were brothers, even though they shared a womb or something like that. I don't know.
I think it was Room, but Womb is funnier.
Listen.
A Roomba?
A Woomba. No, that's illegal now. We can't do that. So before we move on,
That's why we stick to 69. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you do it.
Safer.
That's right.
I mean, why you do it? I just,
Ryan enjoys it.
Sure, as we all do.
All right. Before we move on to talk a little bit about what happened tonight, want to remind you can follow us on all social media at Mark Order Pod, Twitter, Instagram, not Twitch, not yet. I'm working on it. TikTok, YouTube, all the places. But guess what? You can find all of our social links. If you're following us on one platform, just go to the link tree in our profile. You can find links to all our social platforms. But more importantly, you can find a link to request some Mark Order Podcast stickers. That's right. We got version 1, the square one, and version 2, the round one.
And for tonight only, you can get them for 69 cents a day for just 1 month. That's all it costs. 69 cents a day plus shipping. That's the cost of our stickers.
Listen, don't make me open up a congressional committee about this. These stickers are free. They cost nothing. There is no shipping cost. There's no handling cost. All somebody's got to do is go to the link tree, hit that button to request free stickers.
I agree that they're so cheap, it's like they're free.
No. They're free. Don't bury the lead here. Give us your name, your full mailing address, and the country you live in. That's very important if you're international, because guess what?
We will handle you with care.
That's right. We're going to ship international. We'll ship domestic. Doesn't matter.
We'll
you
call
want stickers.
The police, PC or otherwise, because you're getting robbed over there, Ant. If it's free stickers and free shipping... My goodness, what a bargain!
They don't call me AntMoney for nothing.
Kate, up until the end where you went like a 1940s accent, you really did sound like you belonged on QVC.
I mean, I like the accent. I'm not going to lie.
I do too, but I'm just saying that part wasn't QVC.
Like a couple of weeks ago, I just started talking like a typewriter salesman out of nowhere, and I brought it back a few times. It's very odd.
It was very like old news radio, like Flash.
This
Hindenburg went down today in New Jersey. My goodness.
The New York Knickerbockers are playing.
Hey,
New York Knickerbockers are finally playing ball.
Give me the news.
See, the typewriter, you put the paper in the top and you hit these keys and the letters, they appear right there. You want to buy one? I'll get you a good deal.
What are you doing here, Kate? You should be at home.
Yowza. Get your typewriter now. No. Get your free stickers at Mark Order Pod. Hit the link tree on any of our social platforms. Hit the free sticker button and then just give us your full name, your mailing address, and the country you live in. We will send you free stickers.
And your social security number, your mother's maiden name.
No. Let's not.
At least one bank account.
No.
Your license.
I also want to reiterate, because a lot of fake news happening in this one segment that should take 2 seconds. But the Mark Order Podcast will never ask you. No, well. The Mark Order Podcast will never ask you for personal information besides your mailing address and your name and the country you live in, so we can actually send you these stickers.
But the captain might, to get things done.
Listen, we've sent a lot of people stickers, and we've mailed them internationally, and they've gotten, as far as I know, to every destination. So if you haven't gotten your stickers...
Really weird that we're big in Iran.
Well, I haven't gotten any request from Iran. Ireland is what you're thinking, Schlong. Ireland.
Silly me.
Totally.
That's why I always get lost in my boat. It was supposed to be a 3-hour tour, and then I wound up on some island.
I don't know how you ended up being a captain with stupidity like that. How did you rise through The rankings, Captain.
Whoa! Did somebody say rankings? That's right.
Also, I blackmailed someone.
Well, Schlong's blackmailing, but we've got rankings. In our men's division, our champion CM Punk, somehow he hasn't been on TV in forever. My God, what a slacker! Paying him all that money and he's not on TV. Our interim champion. I like it. Our interim champion John Moxley, our All-Atlantic champion Pac, and the TNT champion Wardlow. Our contenders: 1, Scorpio Sky; 2, Hangman Page; 3, Jay Lethal; 4, Eddie Kingston jumping into the rankings. That's right, Patna. And then 5, Powerhouse Hobbs. In the women's division, our champions are Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill, the TBS champion. Number 1, Miyu Yamashita. And that's because she won the Eliminator match in Japan. So now next week, she'll be coming over to the U.S. to fight Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. Tony Storm is number 2. 3, Chris Statlander. 4, Serena Deeb jumping up. And 5, somehow, Nyla Rose. She is a beast.
Who knows how Nyla Rose goes?
All right. And in our tag division, our new champs, Swerve in Our Glory. That's Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Our contenders: 1, 7-star FTR; 2, the Young Bucks; 3, Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. 4 jumping up is number 10 in Evil Uno. And 5, somehow, the Varsity Blondes. Although I have a feeling after tonight, probably not going to be in those rankings, you would think. And there's our rankings. So guys, we're there. Why don't we talk about Dynamite? Week 2 of Fyter Fest. And we know what they were selling us all week was the main event. We will definitely talk about the barbed wire everywhere death match.
I have a problem with that name.
Why?
There was not barbed wire everywhere. In fact, the ropes on the one side of the ring didn't have any.
Good point, Schlong. We'll talk about that for sure. I have a thought on that, but we will talk.
Barbed wire most of the places just doesn't have the same ring.
That's right. Mostly everywhere. Yeah, that's not great.
Barbed wire spread out.
Well, the rest of this card had some good matches on it. They opened the show up tonight with Brody King versus Darby Allin. And I can tell you this. I missed the opening of this match because I was running out and picking up dinner. Usually on Wednesday nights, we do a little takeout deal and watch Dynamite. And when I got home, I was greeted by a small human on the top of the stairs. And I was told, guess what?
Marco Stunt was over?
No. Baby Money was still awake. And he told me that Darby Allin and that big guy with all the tattoos were wrestling. And that Darby Allin got thrown into that thing that keeps them in the ring twice. I was like, whoa, buddy. It's time for bed.
He's doing a better job than JR.
He was very, very jazzed up about this match. So I caught the last part of this match, but a lot of fun. Cutting to the finish, Brody King does win by pinfall with that sit-out Gonzo bomb, which is just the coolest looking, one of the coolest looking moves anybody could do. But I'm not gonna lie, most anything that fucking Brody King does looks awesome. And after the match, we had a little bit of shenanigans. Brody continues to attack Darby, and we get an entrance from
the Redeemer.
It's Stang.
Oh, we'll Sting first.
That's right. Come on, Kate.
It's a man called Sting.
I'm out of order.
Wait, you are out
This
of
whole
order.
room is out of order.
Sting.
Weird when you're in that outfit, just being a normal person.
I know. It's very odd. I like when he stays in character, but then I hate it. It's really fun.
I know. It's a trip.
Sting comes down to the ring for the save.
A boat trip.
and he starts to beat down Brody King. He gets him in position for the Scorpion Death Drop, but the lights go out. When they come back, Malachi Black is in the ring, staring down Sting. And then Brody King, see all that? Grabs Sting for the sleeper, and Malachi Black spits mist in his face. King then drops the sleeper, Sting fades off, and then the horn sounds, and Miro is here. He comes halfway down the ramp. He's got sunglasses on, and then that's it. It's just a stare down, and we go to break. Now, something I noticed that I don't think that they called attention to, he clearly had an eye patch on under those glasses on his right eye. So yeah, I like what's going on here with Miro and Malachi Black, because they have to settle it. He cost him the All Atlantic Championship, right? But there's also all this stuff going on with Sting. I have a feeling we're going to get a triple threat match of some sort, and Sting is going to do something crazy. But I'm just really enjoying what they're doing with Malachi Black, with Miro, and this whole thing with Brody King and Darby Allin was a lot of fun too. I don't know if we're done with this little feud. A lot of the talk track has been, from Brody King, like, we're going to do this forever. So maybe picking on him like he's his little brother or something like that. But, I thought this was all a lot of fun. And anytime I can see Brody King wrestle, especially somebody like Darby Allin, who's just going to bump like a motherfucker for him. I mean, he bumps for everybody, but I love
Anthony,
this.
On the 69th episode, we say bump and grind.
Oh, sorry. He's going to bump and grind for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had I like this opener. I thought it was a lot of fun. Kate, what did you think?
Really liked this match for a few reasons, but overall, I just think it was really nice that the story here was not Darby Allin fighting from behind the entire time. Like, I was getting a little bit fatigued on that. I do think Darby needs some wins, but he's not going to be near a title picture for a while, probably. So it's not like he needs wins. I just want him to have a couple of wins so that he starts to feel more important, because he's taken a lot of losses over the past couple pay-per-views and the past probably 6 months stretch or so. But I really, really liked the match. There was a time when he was in the corner, kind of caught up in a tree of woe, and Brody King went to just run into him basically, and he just, with all of his strength, sat back up, which was a really, really cool move. Something extremely obvious. I really liked the callback to the Battle Royal. Darby Allin selling that he passed out was really like realistic and fun. And then him getting back in the ring so that you thought he might have a fighting chance, and then getting hit with the Gonzo bomb, I thought was a nice piece of storytelling. Like, have him get put away proper, so it's not exactly the same, but was a really nice callback to the Rampage Royal Rumble of ridiculousness, whatever that was called. The Royal Rampage, the Rampage Rumble, the Royal Rampage. So, I thought it was really fun. It had a couple of weird spots, but like, you have Darby and Brody King in the ring. Brody King chops are always going to pop me. Like, they're just so violent looking and sounding. And all of the post-match shenanigans I am super here for. I think the stuff with Miro is super interesting because he's already like so angry at his god, right? And it's believable. I don't think this is where they're going to go with it, but it's believable that he could defect to the House of Black, especially since he already got his whole head misted. There is inconsistency in what the mist does to people, but that's okay. This was, I think, has been a lot of fun. I want to see Miro fight everyone in House of Black, and whatever the end result of that looks like, I'm intrigued kind of either way, but I am here for all of those matches.
Schlong, what did you think about this?
So I'm a bigger fan of the Rolf bomb than the Gonzo bomb, personally. Kate got it. So I could have said Kermit, but I went with Rolf. I tried to stay with cool characters. It was a great match. The Miro thing after. What is the opposite of like black face paint? Not white, because Malachi wears white. Like, I want Miro to have like a gold thing. Like, he's the Redeemer, so he's the opposite.
Yeah, something almost angelic, right?
Yeah, like the mist in. Yeah, the mist didn't turn him into something evil. It made him more of a redeemer. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
I'll say this. It is crazy too. Not crazy because he's great, but it's how over Miro is. The pop for him was huge tonight. So I don't, his character's sort of weird. It sort of straddles in between, right? But I feel like, he's got to sort of go one way or the other here because the fans are well behind Miro.
Guys, look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. We are part of history.
Oh,
our 69th episode takes place on the anniversary of the first moon landing, and that took place on July 20th, 1969.
Well, a moon's going to be landing on somebody's face later. That's all I know.
That is for damn sure. I agree with you. There's a couple of heels that we're going to talk about. Ricky Starks later, who's getting like these huge pops when he comes out, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that, right? I think Adam Cole was getting the biggest pop in the company, but he was still a heel, and that's fine. But you do have to be careful with that, I think. And because House of Black is already positioned as heels, this could kind of go either way. But coming off of an injury, you want people to return hot like that. So I really like this. And Miro did such a good job with the TNT title. It's hard to keep him feeling important if he's not chasing gold, right? That's what the whole like Redeemer story has been about him chasing belts. So how do you continue that without him being in the title picture? Like, this is perfect for that. So I think that is just like a really great detailed storytelling chess move of to make it about the Redeemer and not about the belts. Is like, there's not a lot of opponents that could work with, and House of Black are the perfect ones for that.
Yeah, I don't think that they need to make a firm. I don't think like Miro needs to make a firm stance on like he's a total babyface, but like in this story, he's got to be the face, right? Like he's going against the ultimate heel faction. So I just think that, oh my God, does Ryan have an ascot?
No, this was the belt that you said I didn't have on. So I took it off.
Oh, Ryan is
Lord
taking layers off. My goodness. All right.
It already took us an hour to start talking about wrestling. If we could just
That's kind of typical, though. It doesn't matter if it's episode 69 or not. So what happened next in this episode, Anthony?
Live the gimmick, bro.
We move on and we come back from commercial. And Shivani's interviewing Cole Carter, and Starks and Hobbs roll up before Cole can get anything out. And Stark says that they're the future, and he's been the FTW champion for over a year for a very good reasons, and that is not changing. But Cole says Ricky's future is going to look a lot like his past because he's going to win the title. So we are clearly building up to this match tonight. And it should be mentioned that Cole Carter has had some matches in, like dark tapings. What's really been funny is that he was continuing to show up on NXT television because they had pre-taped a bunch of that content. And then they finally killed him off of NXT.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said he is sleeping with the fishes.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, what was his name in NXT? I don't remember. It was like
Two Dimes. He was Tony D'Angelo's henchman. Yeah.
All right. And apparently he was let go from the E because of a wellness policy violation. Don't know what that means, but he broke the rules, so they released him. Yeah, that's my guess game. So we're building that match. We'll get to that a little later in the card, but we then moved into the Best Friends versus the Blackpool Combat Club in Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. So the story here is clearly that, the Best Friends maybe are a little annoyed at Yuta because he turned his back on them. But the interesting thing here is that Trent never liked Yuta. So Trent's always had the issue, and he kind of wants to get to Yuta. Chuck and Orange Cassidy had sort of mentored him and brought him along for the ride, and then he turned his back on him. So there were a lot of stories kind of going through this match, but there was a lot of Yuta, which I'm not going to hate on. Trent looked really great, and then I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen sexy Chucky T in the ring. So this was sort of a nice match. Cutting to the end, the Blackpool Combat Club does win by pinfall with the seatbelt pin from Wheeler Yuta on Chuck Taylor. So it sort of stuns the best friends, but the Blackpool Combat Club come out on top. Daniel Garcia had been watching backstage the whole time, so post-match they do show him, continuing to sort of watch the monitors because he will have that Ring of Honor Pure title match Saturday night at Death Before Dishonor. That match should, keeping in the theme of 69, that match should fuck hard.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point of 69 was that you weren't fucking.
Well, listen.
Orally, it'll fuck.
You can, you can have your, hard fucking even if it's a face.
Yeah.
I'm a gentleman. Thank you very much.
I didn't say you.
Fair enough.
So, Schlong, what'd you think of the match?
Match was good. I liked the story that was being told. They built that up for a while. The Twitter interactions were funny where Trent said that he bullied Yuta because Yuta got into a BDSM slapping match with William Regal, which I just thought was really funny. But no, the story was really good. I liked Orange Cassidy and Regal on commentary. I thought they were doing a good job. You knew Blackpool Combat Club was going to win, and I'm okay. Since they're a faction, I'm okay that they won. I'm not normally okay with non-teams beating teams. But because they're a faction and they have the world champ, the real world champ, she didn't catch it.
I caught it. I'm just letting things move forward. I was going to address it on my turn to speak, but go ahead.
Well, that's just it. So there, it was good. I enjoyed it. Caitlin?
Oh, I don't see a Caitlin here, but I'll give my thoughts. I don't have a problem with that either, because it's also like a mentor thing, right? So like if you wanted to like raise your child appropriately, you would probably tag with them in some scenarios. So because there's like a mentorship aspect to it, I really like it. I think this is good because it pays off the story of Yuta being stolen from the best friends. I love that Regal and Orange Cassidy are on the same commentary desk in 2022. What a hilarious, fun thing. I loved Orange Cassidy cutting him off and saying, allegedly. Like, allegedly. Daniel Garcia, look, we know he's a phenomenal in-ring talent. We know he's one of the most fashionable wrestlers ever already at this young age. If you are going to be a sports entertainer, Daniel Garcia, you need to learn how to properly watch a match backstage. You can't be looking into a monitor. You need to be all like that. Like what? Ant's doing a great one right now. That's
but
excellent.
I think that goes to show that in his heart, Daniel Garcia is not a sports entertainer. And maybe down the road, that might matter.
Like, because that's just such a surface. Like, if you're coming in with Kangol hats, you gotta. I mean, that is just like the most fundamental sports entertainer stuff. Like, if you've already been so advanced, you're bringing in Kangol and bucket hats. Like, this should have been day one of sports entertainer school. And if you're under the tutelage of a wizard and you're not watching a television like that, you should be questioning like who you're with right now. So that I found it upsetting. I found it to be an insult to this industry, to this great business, to this wonderful sport of professional wrestling, sports entertainment. Disgraceful, really, from Daniel Garcia. So unfortunately, that ruined the entire night of wrestling for me. But I thought the match outside of that black cloud hanging over everything was really, really strong. I think that the Blackpool Combat Club is the most authentic thing Jon Moxley has ever been a part of. And I really liked him as Dean Ambrose in WWE for the most part. I really liked the Shield when that was in its prime. I really liked Mox's championship run. I think it was underrated how much he showed his versatility from the matches he had with Omega that were like going through glass tables and ripping up the side of the ring, all the way to like more technical ones. His match with MJF was unbelievable, but this feels like the most perfect Jon Moxley-ish version, I think, of anything he's ever been a part of. Like, it feels so authentically him. And I've really, really loved how they've rolled this whole thing out. And Yeah, I'm excited for this. I think Garcia and Yuta's just gonna be the match of the night on Saturday, and I can't wait for Claudio and Gresham. But because that's gonna be so technical, I think that Garcia and
You
and
think a
Yuta's
pure
gonna
match
steal
is
it.
going to be less technical than that?
No, but I think I don't know. I think there's just like a stronger. I think that match will be more technical, and this will be a technical match with specific rules. But I think Claudio and Gresham will be slower paced and more dissection, because I feel like Wheeler is such a unique flavor to go up against Daniel Garcia. But I think that one will have a little bit better pacing and more speed. But I'm very excited for the entire card.
And I kind of agree with that too, just Kate, because I feel like Gresham's matches tend to be a little slower. He's a little more calculated and plotting. So I see it. I don't know. I mean, I know Claudio can work technical, but who knows, that match might devolve into like a brawl. We'll see. But I mean, listen, that match, the Garcia Yuta match will be great Saturday. Ton of potential there, like you said, to be match of the night. And they did show a hype reel for Claudio versus Gresham at the Death Before Dishonor too. So that should, hopefully live up to the hype as well. So they do bring out Chompy, the Shark Week mascot, right before we get to Swerve and Our Glory to have their interview in the ring and their championship celebration. And they had it all. They had cake. They had champagne. They had celebrity guests like Kevin Gates. I guess he's a rapper. Ringside. And, Keith Lee expresses his thanks to Swerve and for the opportunity and to all of the fans. And he takes off his hoodie because he says he's hot. And then Lee says if it's up to him, they don't look down. They only look up. So if you want to win a title shot, you better reach up to them. And that's when things got awful exciting in my house, because Mr. Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese interrupt. Tony Nese doing his best low-budget John Cena impression in his jeans with no shirt and rope chain. Come down to the ring. And
if I had those abs, I would never wear a shirt either. If I'm that guy, please.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, why would you?
One day. But Sterling says
overrated. Ladies like a big fella.
It's true. But Sterling says they got lucky with their win, and Keith is just lucky Shane didn't stab him in the back. And Sterling pushes the petition to get Strickland taken off the roster, and he's there to get Kevin Gates to sign the petition. But when Gates refuses, Smart Mark Sterling, tells him his music sucks, and that's when he decides to go through the barricade. And Tony Nese stops him because Sterling says, if you touch me, I'll sue. And that's when Gates, not a professional wrestler, not an athlete, is able to lay out poor Tony Nese with a single right hand. And then we take a turn back to sports entertainment because Swerve picks up the cake and smashes it into Mark Sterling's face. And we go to break.
If there's cake anywhere around a wrestling ring, someone's face is going in it.
It's true.
Oh yeah. Well, they did something once with a cake, and I was like, oh great, here we go. And nothing happened. Like they didn't smash it or anything like that. So I know we had hamburgers get thrown into people's faces.
Penelope and Kip's wedding, someone came out of the cake. It was Miro, right? But then there was a cake segment where nothing
it was Orange
happened.
Cassidy.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense.
Yes, but there was a cake segment. I remember watching it because I was like, "Oh man, they're gonna have a fucking food fight, or somebody's gonna get smashed," and nobody's face got smashed into the cake. So this was
respect.
That's right. Respect the cake.
As if
you're at an orgy buffet. Respect
exactly
the cake.
The cake and the cakes.
That's right.
Tony Two Pies. We already had her leaving.
So Kate, what'd you think about this segment here? Oh boy, Kate, what'd you think about this segment?
I thought
Your cake.
We were talking about cake, and then I said Kate.
Segment?
But I can start calling you Cake.
Why wasn't we got no payoff for Chompy, which I found very upsetting that nobody was in the Shark. And I am very happy about Swerve and Keith Lee. I think them holding gold is great. They both deserve it, and I don't think they were going to be near individual titles for a while. So very happy they're holding the belts. Love that if Matt Jackson loses a shoe, they're dropping the titles. Like, the consistent storytelling there is just hilarious to me. I rewatched that main event from last week because I wanted to watch it in like I'm not taking notes capacity, and I'm so glad I rewatched it because it was so good. This was fine. My only thing is, like, Mark Sterling's whole thing was that it had to be people on the roster that were trying to get Swerve banned, and Kevin Gates isn't on the roster. So that just seems like a really big logic flaw, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, it's a big cross promotion week. Like, this is never going to be my favorite stuff, but it was like short and sweet and didn't take up too much television time. Kevin Gates, I don't know if that's like the guy you want your brand associated with, but
I literally know nothing about him. I don't know.
He's got some skeletons in the old closet, but a local boy, so got the hometown pop. But Jermaine Dupri was a better choice later in the show. I think that was smarter. But yeah, this was fine. It didn't take up a lot of time, so I didn't really care. But I just felt like that was a pretty big logic gap to have Smart Mark Sterling. Like, the whole thing has been people on the roster getting him out of there, and then to just have like a random douche. Even if he had gone through with it, it's like, well, doesn't that violate the rules that you set out for your own petition? But it was fine. It's silly.
We have learned that Smart Mark is not that smart. That's part of the whole thing.
He should be called Dumb Mark Sterling. Am I right?
Boom.
Oh boy.
He's doing great work with Nice, though. I actually love this pairing because I think Nice was a little, I don't say bland, but he needed something, and I think Smart Mark is providing it. I saw a replay of the punch. I think that guy made full contact. So, ouch. I don't like Tony's new haircut. I'm going to be honest. I liked a little bit longer hair on Tony Nese. Segment was okay overall. Kate, did you ever see the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
When you said short, sweet, didn't take up too much TV time, it was like titled Kate sex tape.
Oh boy.
Well played.
That is staying on brand.
Well played.
No, that's why.
Well played.
Well, moving on from that segment, we go back to commercial. When we come back from the break, Shivani's interviewing Reynolds and Silver backstage with the Butcher and the Blade, and Silver says that he's the meat man. The Butcher's got to be his favorite wrestler, and he presents him with a shirt that says Butch, and then they also have a shirt for the Blade that says Butch, and he doesn't like that, so they beat the Dark Order down until Hangman Adam Page makes the save. So the Hangman comes in, he asks them how they are, and then my favorite part, he says, "You look terrible." So a lot of fun. A short segment, but it's setting up a Rampage match, right? So so it's going to be the Butcher and the Blade versus Hangman and John Silver, I believe it was. So yeah, I don't know if anybody. Go ahead, Kate. You want to say something about this?
Just that it seems like they're reprioritizing the Mark Order since the contract with two of their.
What was that?
Everybody's prioritizing the Mark
I'm sorry.
Order.
Yes. They're reprioritizing our podcast because they listen and they know that we have been saying we want to see more of the Dark Order find a new direction. And because they're prioritizing us, what they did on television tonight was, it seems like they're refinding the direction for the Dark Order because we never lose direction. But I think they sincerely just needed to know what Stu Grayson and Alan Angel's contracts were going to be doing before they moved forward creatively with any real plans. So it does seem like they're finding a new home, at least for Silver and Reynolds. I don't know what Evil Uno's going to do, but I'm sure they'll find something. But it's just nice to see some emphasis being placed on them now that we've kind of cleared that hump.
Nice. Schlong, anything you want to say about this?
No, but I got a question. So when you have a green screen, there's always like a little fuzz that goes around like my microphone. But because there's a fire, does it look like the fire's actually like going?
It kind of does.
The neat effect.
It's pretty small on my screen. I can't tell.
I see a little
the biggest thing on your screen. That hurts me. In ways
I
I
have
can't
one
possibly
screen and I
imagine.
have to split it so I can read and
and do
see you
arithmetic.
guys.
I understand.
A lot of arithmetic.
Yeah,
so much.
It does seem like they're reprioritizing them. It's kind of a shame that it has to come after you lose some members. I understand that's probably as a result, like you didn't know. I still pray that Stu makes a return at some point. I still have a hope and a prayer that the Dark Order is getting beat up and Stu Grayson comes running out. He will get a pop so fucking loud.
It would be huge for him, and I do miss him. Him and Evil Uno were great. They never really got the run that they should have. They never held the titles, but they never even sniffed, really, those titles.
Yeah, they were never in like a proper title feud even.
Yeah, so, I would love it, Schlong. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll hold on to hope.
I'm a hopeful Schlong.
I know. You're also no longer the captain. You're more like Rambo. Or, I'm sorry, Rambone.
Thank you for using the proper name. And I invade your territory.
That's right. Schlong drew first blood. Not me.
It's true.
Moving on. We go to Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. And this was a pretty quick one. Luchasaurus takes care of business. Christian Cage.
Care of business. I'm working overtime.
Christian Cage gets tagged in to get the pin. So the lateral press from Cage gets the win. But post-match, the big news is that the Jungle Man is back. Jack strolls down to the ring with a chair. Luchasaurus stops him, and they're in a stare down. But guess what, folks? Luchasaurus steps aside, and then Christian runs off very angry, and Jack gives him chase. He doesn't catch him, but clearly we've got this Jungle Boy Christian thing going on. Luchasaurus, I guess, has sided back with the Jungle Man, so we'll see what happens there, which would make a young boy in my house very happy because let me tell you something. If you've mentioned Luchasaurus in the past couple weeks in my house, Mr. Baby Money has not been happy. He will tell you that he's bad, that he doesn't wear green anymore, and that he's a mean dinosaur.
All true. All true. Spitting facts over there. Baby Money.
Let's hope.
Fire. Well, what I like is that Luchasaurus never actually like attacked Jungle Boy or anything, so it's like it's not one of those weird swerves where you're like, why would you hurt him to be on his side? So it actually some logic here to be like, I'll be nice to Christian while you're hurt, and then when you come back, I got you. Like there's actually a lot of logic to it, so I don't mind it at all. I wonder, will he go back to green or will he stay the dark, demented dinosaur that he is now?
Kate, what do you think? Does he stay a dark, demented dinosaur? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't care.
Does he stay a dark, demented dinosaur?
Or
does he go back to the way he was?
I don't give a shit about Luchasaurus. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I like Jungle Boy
He
is a
used to
solo
like
star.
fun.
She did.
This isn't fun.
What the fuck happened to you?
The
You know what?
creative
No.
has stalled out. I'm bored. There's nothing.
I know what it
there's
is.
nothing fun.
No, I know what this is. I need to go have a talk with your other co-host because you weren't this sour.
I felt
Before-
like the best work Jungle Boy has done has been in solo matches. I'm sorry. His match with Kenny Omega is the most memorable match he's had. I felt like their tag title reign was not really that productive. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know. They just always felt like the third most important tag team, even when they had the titles, like the Young Bucks and FTR. And they're probably the two best tag teams in the world. So it's not necessarily the fault of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, but like they like had a feud with the Ass Boys. Like there wasn't like a ton there. I don't feel like it was a productive reign. I don't think it elevated them. I don't think it really did anything. I just don't think there's any more juice left in this tag team. I think Jungle Boy's a pillar. He should be standing on his own moving forward. Like I was hoping that the split was going to be real. So I don't really love this. I'll give it breathing room because they usually make things pay off in AEW, but I just don't care. Like I feel like in the same way I felt like the end of the Inner Circle was holding back everybody that was in the Inner Circle, I feel like Jurassic Express is now being held back by, I feel like the work Christian's doing has been great, but I feel like Jungle Boy is being held back by Luchasaurus instead of catapulted forward because they just don't have anything to offer as a tag team right now.
Mr. Money, Kate is making me feel more like an 11 than a 69. And if you're wondering, 11 is just where you just lay next to each other and do nothing. It's very boring. It's no fun. Why is she hurting the mood?
I don't know. It's supposed to be a sexy mood tonight. Did it all go downhill? Here's a real question.
I want to fuck Peter Avalon. Good?
Oh, all right.
Back in the game.
All right, there we go. Back on track.
Did it all go downhill for Luchasaurus when Marco Stunt left?
Well, I mean, AEW has been a
did.
sinking AEW's been a sinking ship since Marco Stunt left. Like,
But truthfully,
you let your
it
biggest
kinda-
star walk.
It kind of did because now you are just two people. Like he doesn't have another person. So I'm hoping that it's still going to be more of a Jungle Boy singles run and Luchasaurus is just his friend.
I don't think it was Marco Stunt. I think there's just a ceiling on the gimmick if you don't break through the ceiling. Like he does such impressive stuff in the ring. There's a ceiling on being a lucha dinosaur that you either have to bust through or not. Like you're either anchoring
break
the
the
other
walls
guy.
down.
You do. You
Break
need to learn
down the
from Chris
walls.
Jericho and break the walls down because, like, there's a cap on it. Like that's what's so impressive about Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy to me is that there's not because he just keeps advancing his character. Like that could get very 2-0, but it's not. Whereas I feel like Luchasaurus is just very like flat,
one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But he's for the kids.
1, 2, 3.
He is for the kids. I am
Give me a fix for this Limp Bizkit.
I am slightly more mature than a child sometimes.
Sometimes. But this is episode 69.
So I am more mature than the kids because I want to fuck Peter Avalon.
Hey-o, we are back.
Right back.
1
baby.
minute 57 seconds.
Long-term
I'm sorry, 1 hour 57
storytelling.
minutes and 33 seconds.
My forever F and my FMK, Peter Avalon.
No, Jesse Ozak has a good point, but dinosaurs are very tall, so his ceilings would be very high.
That is a good point. I like that a literal Jesse is a literal Shakespeare like scholar and joining us for our discussion about Luchasaurus and his tall ceiling. So thank you for being in the chat,
Jesse saw this character.
Yeah, but you wish you had Jesse's girl.
I don't know what your character has devolved into, but it's
this is the captain on a bender.
Into madness, yeah. Kate brought up that the Lucha Express, or not Lucha Express, excuse me, Jungle, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Sorry, I'm reading two different things and I can't keep it straight. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy had a feud with the Ass Boys. We go from this to the Ass Boys being interviewed backstage. And basically what it boils down to is they said they didn't deserve, the Acclaim didn't deserve a match, but next week, Austin Gunn, I always get them mixed up. Austin Gunn is going to have a rap battle with Max Caster. So I'm sorry, that's Friday night. Max Caster and Austin Gunn are going to have a rap battle, and whoever wins gets to pick the stipulations for the match that I guess they'll have based on the rap battle. Seems weird. Didn't deserve a match, but a rap battle, they deserve a match.
Yeah, it's weird. I just want to see Bowens wrestle. So like, this feud
Yes.
is kind of dead for me. I'm like, Bowens can out wrestle all three of these guys, including his tag team partner, like pretty handily, and I just want to see him wrestle matches in the ring. So this is, but like I'll always pop for Scissor Me Daddy Ass, and the pain of the denial of it hurt my heart.
So bad.
When you want to scissor and you can't scissor, it hurts.
It's true, but maybe
I mean, at that point, you might as well just 69.
There you go.
It was more doing like a hook.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
And
know.
I'm
how
just
you-
worried about what those two guys are doing, and that would be very painful.
Could be two gals. You don't know.
Maybe they're playing
I'm-
tummy
I'm-
sticks.
I'm thinking about the hook.
Hook, brother.
Said Hook. So moving on from that, we get to our FTW Championship match: Cole Carter versus Absolute Ricky Starks. And it was great seeing Ricky Starks on TV. He does retain his title with the spear. And then post-match, he grabs the mic and he says that he's got more in the tank. And he feels like it's the right time to keep it going. So for the guy in the front row in the yellow Wu-Tang shirt, he wants to do another open challenge right now. And
He was doing it for the children.
Well, that's true. But the bigger news is that Danhausen, yes, very nice, very evil, comes out to accept the challenge. And he says he's going to accept it right now. But unfortunately, Starks gets some cold feet and says that he needs to take care of his neck and accepts the challenge next week. So next week, we're going to get Danhausen versus Ricky Starks for the FTW Championship. And if there's a God, they will give this belt. I'm sorry, if there is Satan, they will give this belt to Danhausen.
So,
Well, that would be very evil. So,
but he'll be
Very
very
nice.
nice about it.
Of course.
Real quick. One, I like the way it by Starks instantly backing out of the match. It gave Danhausen a lot of credibility to be like, no, I don't want to wrestle you right now. But I mean, Asian Joe said it as I was thinking about it, so I don't want to steal his credit, but this has to be the setup to the eventual Hook Starks match, because I bet you Stark and Hobbs start beating up on Danhausen, and Hook comes down like, what are you doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Where we've got
I
to
just
go.
can't hide it.
I
I want
want-
lose control, and I think I like it.
I want like a best of 3 Hook Starks series of matches for the FTW title real bad. I think Starks and Hook could have incredible matches. I love seeing Ricky Starks on my screen. We talk about week over week that Starks is like just such money in so many different ways, and that he's kind of been, I don't want to say like undervalued, but underpushed, I think is a fair thing to say. He has been the FTW champion for a while. He's definitely done more with it than Cage ever did. I loved him saying that he needed to adjust his neck because he has the shoot neck injury, right? And I loved when the crowd kind of was booing, he was like, don't worry, you'll still be able to watch it on TV. That was like just a cute piece of crowd work. But the spear on Connors was awesome. I don't think I'm not like, oh man, sign that Connors guy. Like, he's just good old jobber. His promo was a mess, I felt like, earlier in the show too. But more Starks. Hook and Starks is the story for this belt. Like, and Taz getting more and more involved, I think will just be so fantastic as this roll down the hill. And Danhausen being the first guy to like kick all of this off is just perfect. So very excited that we're at that point, because I also think it's time for Starks to move up and on to title picture of recognized title stuff. Like, he should be in the TNT title picture for sure, especially against a pure babyface like Wardlow. So very, very excited to see Starks getting more TV time. 100%.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I don't think Danhausen's going to win this title. It's not
Right.
going to happen. But wouldn't it be great? I mean, he's so over.
They could do that. Like, Starks
He doesn't
could
need a
lose his
renegade
mind.
belt. But
Yeah.
yes, that very well could happen. Maybe that drives a wedge in Hookhausen. Who knows?
Sure.
But tune in next week for that match. That should be a lot of fun. Let's see. We also get an interview backstage with Athena, Chris Statlander, and Willow. And Chris says that, of course, Stoke would have her out of the match tonight. And Athena says it's a good opportunity to sort of refocus on what's important, like Chris challenging for the AEW Women's Championship and her winning the AEW TBS Championship. And Willow, of course, being always positive, pumps them up for the match tonight. And we go to break. My favorite thing here was Chris saying, of course we know why I was pulled out of this match. And she sort of like mimics her slapping somebody in the head because that was one of the best moments ever. Of course, for those who don't know or weren't following, this match tonight was supposed to be a 3-on-3. It was supposed to be Chris, Athena, and Willow versus the baddies with Layla Gray, and apparently Layla Gray was not cleared to wrestle. So it turned into a tag match: Jade and Kira versus Willow and Athena. Don't know if anybody wants to say anything here. They're just building to the match tonight. We'll talk about the match.
Yeah, we can wait till the match to talk about anything.
And then FTR makes their entrance to the ring for an interview with Shivani after the break. And Wheeler says that 2022 has been a decent year and no match has been bigger for them than going to war with the Briscoes at the Supercard of Honor. But Death Before Dishonor will be bigger. And Dax goes on to tell a story about his daughter having a hole in her heart that healed up, and that if a little 8-year-old girl will fight that hard, then Daddy's got no choice but to fight that hard to create a legacy she can be proud of. So at Death Before Dishonor, he's going to fight like an 8-year-old girl and beat the Briscoes' ass. Top guys out. So I missed what he said about like his daughter and what was wrong with her. So I had to go back and sort of catch it. But I thought this was a great promo to build to this match. Also, I don't know if you guys saw it, the video they did with Caprice, the sit down to then add the stipulation 2 out of 3 was a fantastic video. So if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. It's, wherever you can find it. But what a great video where they kind of settled on the stipulation. And this match is going to rule. If you thought the first one was great, this one's going to be better, right? And it's nice to see that the Briscoes are going to be back on TV in some sort, right, at the pay-per-view, because the rumor was that there wasn't going to be really any room for them to work with the Briscoes. But maybe things are sort of changing. So, who knows? But Kate, I know before you had mentioned this promo and that you really liked it. So why don't you talk about whatever you want to talk about here first?
Oh, yeah. Just from front to back, I think Cash talking about how they respect the Briscoes because they're family guys, and that Dax and Cash are certainly family guys that set the table for Dax to talk about the real life situation of his 5-year-old daughter finding out that she literally had a hole in her heart. And if she did a bunch of work to repair it, she would be better. And if she wasn't able to do the work, they would have to risk open heart surgery, which is a big risk for a 5-year-old with a growing heart. But she fought like hell, and they did a scan and she had repaired the hole in her heart. And then Cash Wheeler saying we're gonna fight like an 8-year-old girl was just like the sweetest, most heartfelt line. But what I love is that it seems like no matter where FTR goes, the live crowd recognizes, and they were in the South, so I expected them to obviously like play very well there, but like the crowds recognize that when they see FTR, they're seeing the same way they do with Danielson, I think, and Mount Rushmore caliber wrestler, right? They understand that this is one of, if not the best tag teams in the world, in history. My God. So it's just cool that their face turn was just built off of the recognition of that, essentially, and that they get this reception everywhere they go because they were in WWE literally shaving each other's backs in a segment, and tag team wrestling was and continues to be a complete joke there. It's just so much fun to see that. I love seeing them get the recognition that they deserve now. Like, we don't always see legends get recognized in their time, and they actually are living legends. So fits the gimmick, but a really, really sweet promo, a nice way to build out a continuing story and to build out the respect that they have for the Briscoes, especially because the Briscoes can't appear on television, right? And you can't assume that everyone saw that social media segment. So it gives you an idea of who the Briscoes are without them necessarily being there. And we have to remember this was like essentially a go home to the pay-per-view. So it's good that they're continuing to build out that card, but just loved it. Loved how heartfelt and sincere it was. Loved Cash Wheeler saying we're going to fight like an 8-year-old girl. Like what a beautiful piece of wrestling. This is like wrestling history then versus the Briscoes. This is like we're getting to see wrestling history in real time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I mean, this was just perfectly done, and it's really just amazing, like you said, to see. And we've said it time and time again, but isn't it amazing to see these guys flourish after they were, like you said, shaving each other's back in, you know, the and when you let them go and do what they do it well, you know. So Schlong, if there's anything you'd like to add, I'm sorry, Captain, if there's anything you'd like to add.
Just that there's nothing wrong with some back shaving.
Well, I don't disagree with that either. You need to make sure you're staying shorn. You know, you can also ask, I guess, to have your private area shaved. If you need to do that, you can hit up Buff Bagwell's mom, right?
Yeah.
I don't need Buff Bagwell's mom. I know she does it, but I have a long list of ladies who will shave my back.
Oh, baby.
Let's move on, because I don't want to hear that list at all.
No, we are definitely moving on.
Let's be fair here. If I actually had a list, you'd both want to know it.
I probably would, not gonna lie. Backstage, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh get interviewed. Dutt loses his mind when he's talking about how much he doesn't care about Christopher Daniels and how Jay is gonna become the new Ring of Honor World TV Champion. And Lethal says he's done it already. If he would have done it, if Samoa Joe would just show up to work. And that's when Daniels comes out to challenge him to a match on Rampage and tell him to keep Joe's name out of his mouth. So Lethal accepts, and Sanjay Dutt loses his mind again. My favorite part of this was Sanjay Dutt with the pencil behind his ear and the shark fin hat on for Shark Week. Really nothing much to say. They're just building to this pay-per-view, and they're going to have a match on Friday night.
Sanjay looks sexy as fuck. That's basically it.
100%, especially the foam hat.
Yeah.
And moving on from this, we get Stoke, Jade Cargill, and Kiera Hogan make their entrance to the ring with Jermaine Dupri in tow. Stoke says that he's got good news and bad news. The bad news is Layla Gray isn't cleared to compete. The good news is that Chris Statler is banned from ringside, and there will be no head slap in here. And then Jade pumps up the crowd, saying she's a homegrown girl, and she's going to show everybody why she's that bitch. And then we get Athena and Willow Nightingale to make their entrance, and we have the tag match, Kiera Hogan and Jade versus Athena and Willow. Cutting to the end, Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan win by pinfall with a jaded from Cargill on Willow Nightingale, and that ends the match. I will say this on episode 69 of this show, this match was for me, so it put me in the mood. I loved it. Well, I didn't necessarily love the match. There was definitely some sloppy moments, but we need to keep the champion on TV. They're continuing that story, sort of Athena chasing that belt, right? Always great to see Willow on TV. She's just a lot of fun to watch. And really just good to see Kiera Hogan again on TV. So she had been on Dark quite a bit, and now she's been getting more and more time on TV as part of the baddies. You know what was missing, though? Sunny Kiss. Sunny Kiss was missing again.
Yeah.
So, if we have to remind Stoke that Sunny should be part of the baddies, you should certainly reach out to him on social and just let him know, hey, Mark Order Pod says you got to get Sunny in this fucking baddie club. I don't
Your
know what.
interim baddie was out. You could have just filled Sunny in right there.
Put her in.
Yeah, would have been great.
Do it. Anyway, Kate, what'd you think of the match?
Really liked the match. Really did. Kira Hogan looked great, and I felt like there was she just had really good chemistry in this match with Willow. And really liked Stokely saying that Chris Statlander was legally removed from the match. Like, it's just a nice, like, old school managerial thing that there was probably a contract signed or something, and that he certainly wasn't going to go to Smart Mark to get that undone. There's some animosity there, I'm sure. But that was a really nice touch. Also liked him serving as a distraction on the outside with Athena. It's tricky because he's a dude, right? And they're not going to have him interfering in matches in a physical way. Like, he can't assert any physicality. So this was like a very clever way to do it, to have him provide a distraction, have Athena fucking around on the outside with him, essentially, and then Jade locks in. The Jaded was, like, I felt like a very clever ending. Kira Hogan's great. I think the more reps she gets, the better she's going to be. I think charisma-wise, she's all the way there. I've loved her attitude as this has continued to grow. And again, I say week over week, like, it's just nice to have some long-term storytelling in the women's division. The title feels important. Jade feels important. This has been an outstanding feud. I think it will result in the title changing hands at the right time to the right person. I felt like the delineation of Chris is going to go after the world title. I'm going to go after the TBS title. I think that's going to lead to some dissension about them both wanting to go after Jade. And I feel like Chris should be the one to dethrone Jade. So I think that's super fun. This match was pretty good. Nice to see it on television, but like, if Jermaine Dupri's not even going to get them out of the 9:30 slot, nothing is. So just would like to see it get shaken up, but I can't complain about this. This was good.
Schlong, anything you want to add? I know you've seen Kira Hogan a lot on the Darks. Still hot on her.
I just want to hear him say Kira Hogan.
Yeah, that's what we're trying.
Kira is good. Kira is very good.
Kira who? From
Kira.
Thundercats? No,
Yes.
that was Shira.
That was Shira.
Well, Shira was totally different.
But Kira, who was in this match, was very good.
Okay.
Hagen. Kieran Hagen, I think is her name.
Kieran Hagen. Yes.
She sounds Dutch.
She does.
Kieran Hagen.
Kieran Hagen. Okay, so moving on, we get Thunderstorm interviewed backstage. Oh, the captain, my goodness. I think his internet went out, so we'll see what happens with the captain. Maybe he makes an appearance, maybe not. But Kate, let's move on. Thunderstorm gets interviewed backstage, and Rosa cuts in a promo on Miyu Yamashita, saying she's the best in Japan, but Thunder Rosa's gonna win next week. And that's when Team DMD rolls up and Britt Baker wishes her good luck in a mocking way in her match against Mio, and says that they'll see them on Friday. So Britt and oh my god, I can't remember her name, Jamie Hayter. will be in action on Friday night. So not much to say here. We're just hyping up sort of to next week.
It would be nice to see Thunder Rosa fight somebody other than Britt. I'll just throw that out there.
Well, yeah, and I don't think they're going to do that right away. I think they're just going to continue to play this up. I think at some point we'll see Stat, kind of get in the picture because they sort of pushed that tonight, right?
Yes.
But it should be a good match next week. And now, Kate, we are at the main event of the night. The barbed wire death match, barbed wire everywhere sort of death match. And the Jericho Appreciation Society comes down first to get locked in the shark cage and hung above the ring. And we're told, I don't know if we're told right at the beginning or if I just didn't catch it and I caught it in the middle, but Ruby Soho is responsible for keeping them above the ground. And she has the key for the cage. So she is there to make sure nothing is going to happen. So, Chris, you know right away that
You had one job.
Right. One job. Also, it should just be noted that in the cage was Garcia 2.0, Danny Magic, and Angelo. I'm sorry, Daddy Magic, not Danny Magic. Daddy Magic and Angelo. And then Jake Hager. To me, Kate, it seemed a little incomplete, but we'll get there. And so obviously Jericho makes his entrance, Kingston makes his entrance, and there's barbed wire around 3 of the sides of the ring, but not one. My theory there, Kate, was it was just a way to guarantee them getting in and out of the ring without getting all shredded up.
And cameramen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then around the ring, they have, tables with barbed wire. They have what looked like a mattress just covered in barbed wire. I think at one point they called it a spider web. We'll get there. And then the microphone that they were using for the ring announcements had barbed wire wrapped around it. They also had barbed wire around the bell. So everything sort of around the ring had barbed wire. And they used the barbed wire right away. Jericho is bloodied. Eddie Kingston with a nice Shark Week tie-in. I think he just said, "There's blood, Shark Week." So I guess that fulfilled any contractual obligation.
That was it. It was so perfect.
Yeah. And then we get through the match. And of course, my favorite part of barbed wire matches, if you could have a favorite part, is the people who always say it's gimmick barbed wire. While you see their clothes shredding, their skin shredding, their hair getting stuck to it, their shirts getting stuck to it, that shit ain't gimmicked, man. That shit hurts. But
how do you gimmick barbed wire? It's plastic to look like it? Because that's not going to do any damage. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Listen, even if you're going to grind down the barbs, it's gonna fucking
barbed wire.
Yeah. So as we continue through the match, they're clearly going back and forth. It's a full brawl. But we get a run-in from Tay Conti to beat down Ruby Soho. And as she's beating her down, Anna Jay comes to talk some sense into Tay Conti, but she winds up laying out Ruby with a forearm and throwing her into the ring post. So now what we had to kind of discuss last week about Anna Jay and the talk that Tay Conti gave to her backstage, it looks like Anna Jay is now sort of turned back to the dark side. Again, an interesting thing here, Kate, and we'll kind of break it down in a moment, is Anna Jay seems to maybe be distancing herself from the Dark Order. So again, sort of to the point of we're trying to refocus on what everybody in the Dark Order is doing now. It looks like maybe Anna Jay's got a picture. She's going to do some heelish shit with Tay Conti. So now that Ruby's been taken out, they're able to lower the shark cage, and Tay runs off with the key to the cage. She can't get it unlocked, so they just start going through the bars. And then eventually the beatdown is on. Eddie gets beat down by the entire society. That's when Ortiz, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Moxley come out to make a save and run off the Appreciation Society. Ortiz is able to crack Jericho with the Mad Ball. Kingston hits an exploder into a barbed wire table, and the Painmaker kicks out of the pin. And we also get a chair shot from Jericho with the lion salt, or chair shots from Jericho. He tries to lion salt onto a barbed wire chair on top of Eddie, but Eddie throws it into Jericho's face. It looked like Jericho thought he broke his nose for a minute there. But hilarity continues to ensue. And that's when fucking Sammy Guevara comes down to the ring. He's able to, help with a little bit of the beatdown, while Eddie is sort of waiting for Jericho to tap from the stretch plumber. That's when Sammy makes the run-in super kick. They beat Eddie down. They jockey for position, and then barbed wire Judas effect, and it's over. So Jericho does win by pinfall with the barbed wire Judas effect. But post-match, Eddie's able to recover. He hits a back fist on Guevara, throws Jericho into the barbed wire pit. that spider web thing on the floor. And then the show goes off the air with Jericho sort of screaming in pain. Could not have been comfortable. And, Eddie takes the L again tonight. So, Kate, here are my thoughts. I know we discussed a lot of stuff there, and I want your thoughts, but here's my kind of initial thought overall, right? I really wanted this to sort of come to a resolution tonight. Not because I hate this. I just really wanted this to sort of move on. I wanted the Appreciation Society to go on to other things just because I want them to move on to other things. And I wanted Eddie to move on to something else as well. I don't know what, but I just wanted him moving on. I really didn't want this to be schmazzy the way it did. It's just the worst way you could do this in my mind. We've seen it 1,000 times. So of course you're going, well, they're going to get out of there and blah, blah, blah. But for a long while in this match, I really thought like, holy fuck, nothing's going to happen. Like this is, but again, like I said, at the beginning of the match, when I saw like, well, where's Sammy and Tay? Oh, maybe they're not at the arena. Of course they're at the fucking arena. It really sort of, I don't know. I hated it. I just hated the way this all worked out. I don't think I'm the only one. What'd you think here, Kate?
I didn't like it at all. I like what happened between the ropes. I'll say this. I know Jericho is polarizing. He shows out for his opponents. Like, this guy has gotten sliced open by Nick Gage. This guy has lost to Eddie Kingston. Their non-barbed wire match was extremely physical and hard-hitting. Like, Jericho got dropped on his neck a bunch in that match. This barbed wire match, of course, the acidic mess of orange that he took those orange juice bumps for Orange Cassidy. I think considering this is a 50-year-old man who is already a legend in this business, he's an incredibly selfless ring performer. Like, that's it. He just 2 weeks ago took the Claudio swing on top of the cage. That was 2 weeks ago. He's 50 and then doing this. So
yeah, he doesn't need to be doing this.
No, he really doesn't. I read an interview, I think it was Wrestling Inc., where he had talked about that spot, and he was like, we got to do a swing on top of the cage. And Claudio was like, no, we really don't. He was like, every time I move on to a different chain, I'm going to be retrying to get my footing. And Jericho was like, oh, well, we can try it on the edge then. And he was like, are you insane? No. And he was like, yeah, it'll be good. He was like, I just knew the crowd was going to go insane for it. So Claudio felt safe doing it. And he said it was terrifying to take. And then when he went back and watched it, he was just like, God, Claudio had control of me the entire time. But anyway, like, he doesn't need to do that stuff, but he continues to, and I applaud him for that, because there's a lot of people with egos in this industry that would not. But he really is just trying to put over other people, and that's awesome. This ending was stupid. It made Eddie Kingston look bad. And I know I'm an Eddie mark, so it's hard to set aside my bias, but I feel like even in fundamental wrestling, this makes Ruby Soho look like an idiot. This makes Eddie Kingston look weak in his most natural environment. Like, this is Eddie's wheelhouse. And having Jericho go over, I just feel like, well, why didn't you just have Jericho win the first match against Eddie and have him get his big win here if you were going to have faction on faction in between? Like, just seems like a stupid route to take. I think this means we're going to get Eddie and Ruby versus Tay and Sammy, which I don't have an interest in at all. Sammy being absent from the cage was extremely telling. And I also just feel like you have this vicious match and you just completely undercut everything that you built up in those like 10 to 12 minutes or whatever of like extreme violence by having this little shithead come in. This feels like WWE booking. Like, this feels like heat on booking and not heat on Sammy Guevara. We just got out of an angle where the heat was on the booking and not on Sammy Guevara. This is detrimental and bad to the character of Sammy Guevara because the heat isn't on him. The heat is on the dumb angle that they're working with him. And I just am not here for that. I think it's really bad. I think Sammy Guevara is feeling less and less like a pillar every day because of the booking that's surrounding him. It doesn't really have to do with him as a performer. So this, I just felt like undercut a lot of what they had built out of it. I'm with you. I was ready to resolve and move on. This has already been going on for 6 months between Jericho and Eddie. I don't need for it to continue. And I just feel like for some reason, like I feel like Chris Jericho is so selfless, but it seems like the angles he's in, Inner Circle, and now the Jericho Appreciation Society, they just don't know when good enough is enough. Like, just let it run its course and get out of there. Like, they drag these things on. So, disappointing ending. Kudos to Kingston and Jericho for the work that they did inside of it. But I just felt like the schmozzy booking really, really undercut the violence that they built out and made Eddie Kingston look so weak in his most advantageous stipulation yet.
You know, it's one of these things too, Kate, where I think I had said it when they got to Blood and Guts, is like, okay, this after this, if this isn't the resolution, how do you then one up it, right? And it was the same thing with something else. I was like, if this isn't the end, how do you now one up it? So they found a way to do it, right? Okay, Eddie didn't get the pleasure of having Jericho tap out to him, right? That was kind of taken away from him, and then they retaliated with Ruby. So everything sort of made sense going into this, right? And you've escalated it now to the next level. It's barbed wire. Okay, that's totally different, totally more, a different type of violence than the Blood and Guts. Now this isn't resolved. So now we're, again, like you said, I envision it, yes, Ruby and Eddie versus Sammy and Tay. I don't care about that. But we still have to resolve Eddie and Chris Jericho. Where do they escalate this now? Because you can't de-escalate, right? You can't just have, a 2 out of 3 falls match. You can't have an Iron Man match or something like that where it's, pure sort of wrestling for an extended period of time. The story has been violence and escalating violence. So now what is the next step? Like, there's nowhere else to go. This was the top to me.
Yeah, Kyle K. Sparks also bringing up a great point in the chat of like, how is Blood and Guts not ending your feuds? Like, that's an insane thing. That should be the blow off of all blow off matches. I agree with that. And yeah, there doesn't seem to be any real resolution there. I don't know if they're going to try and sell us on the idea that him making Jericho bleed was always the goal anyway. But that's too weak of a resolution for me. And especially because we're supposed to be getting Mox versus Eddie Kingston at Grand Slam for the interim title, aren't we? So, like, how are we going to close that gap? That seems pretty insane. But just disappointing booking to what was a solid and violent match. It just undercut the legs of the storytelling they were doing and the violence of the match.
Yeah, it was just disappointing to see the schmozzy finish to this. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with anything else except for the fact that, all right, here comes Tay. Sammy's not going to be far behind, right? Like, and they really tried to sell the fact, like, we haven't seen Sammy since he went off the cage. It's like, come on, we knew he was around, right?
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
Couple weeks,
like 3 weeks ago.
I don't know, but yeah, it was just a disappointing sort of a letdown finish to the episode of Dynamite. So that kind of
don't want to end a 69 on a letdown. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like blowing your load early. And you're 69. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
No.
So looking forward, way unsatisfied. Looking forward to Friday night. We'll get John Silver and Hangman Page against the Butcher and the Blade. We will get, sorry, all this stuff is now popping up. We get Lee Moriarty versus Dante Martin. That should be a fun match. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter are in action. They didn't say against who, but it's out there if you want to go find it. There's the rap battle, Max Caster versus Austin Gunn. And we get Jay Lethal versus Christopher Daniels leading into the pay-per-view this weekend, Death Before Dishonor. And they did update the card a little bit through, the show tonight. So we know we're getting FTR versus the Briscoes in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. We're going to get Gresham versus Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Championship. We're going to get Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor television title. Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Wheeler Yuta will face Daniel Garcia for the Ring of Honor Pure title. We said it before, but in case you didn't catch it, they did announce that the Righteous will be in action versus Dalton Castle and the Boys for the Ring of Honor 6-man championships. Good. Oh, I dig. And it's really great to see them pulling those titles back out because they didn't put them on the show for the super card. Part of me thinks that's because they thought they wanted to sort of unveil AEW 6-man titles first, but that's not going to happen at the moment. So they want to get them back out on TV. I think that's totally fine. It'll be great to see the Righteous. And of course, always fun to see Dalton and the Boys.
Hell yeah.
And then in the pre-show, they announced that we're going to get Willow Nightingale versus Allison Kay. So a pretty nice card. And for those who will be in attendance, like Mike Peterson, it should be a fun night. Kate, you and I have been to plenty of Ring of Honor shows before TK bought the promotion, and they were fun then. But now they've got to be just, maybe even 10 times more fun now that they've got a lot more push behind them. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that I left the main event of last year's Death Before Dishonor to go watch CM Punk debut. I think if I remember, if I had my pay-per-view because that was the 2-night one. But I think Death Before Dishonor might have been 2 nights last year.
I think you're right, but I wasn't at those shows. I can't remember. But yeah.
But I left the main event to watch Punk debut, and look where we are now. Like, CM Punk is champion, ROH has been bought by AEW, and this is the card we're delivering a year later. It's just like nuts.
And Vincent got us into the finalist battle of all final battles.
That's right. That's right.
So it should be a fun show. It sounds like Schlong is unable to do a post show. We'll see if I can do a post show, if I can find somebody to do it with. Somebody said Kyle K. Sparks. I don't know, Kyle K. Sparks. Maybe we can work something out. We'll figure it out.
Fuck around and find out.
Oh, that's why we're doing 69. Yeah. So it should be a fun show on Saturday night. It'll be on Bleacher Report. So buy it early and try to log in early because no doubt there might be some problems. Yeah. Kate, there were a number of items in news this week, just a few things to update the people on. Ring of Honor sent out a press release on July 15th announcing details of the upcoming Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view, but they also said that they are revamping Honor Club subscribers, or the subscriptions. They said that Ring of Honor is revamping the Honor Club program with enhanced elements and functionality. During the transformation, there will be a pause on accepting new memberships, and current memberships as of July 16th, 2022 will be extended at no additional cost until the refreshed Honor Club platform is launched in early fall of 2022. They did say that fans will be able to subscribe to Honor Club for $9.99 a month, and new Honor Club content will become available 60 days after the events happen live. There was a sign up. You could sign up for all the announcements related to the Honor Club. And there's a way that if you want refunds, you can get compensated with some credits with what's remaining on your subscription. It looks like their Honor Club is not going away. They're revamping it, and pretty cool. So they're continuing to put the content in the platform and keep that content there, and revamping it hopefully to make it better, because I had heard, Kate, that the Honor Club platform wasn't the best. So
it was clumsy, but it had everything you wanted. It was just like that the interface was not necessarily the greatest. So I think that's a good call, and it seems like they're handling it that well. So I'm looking forward to enhanced features.
It should be. I'll tell you this much. I would certainly, because of the platform issues I heard there were, is the only really reason that I never signed up for the Honor Club. So if they can fix a lot of those things, I would certainly do $9.99 a month. Their catalog is amazing.
Well, and to be honest, we went to so many pay-per-views that like the way that the pay-per-views were built into Honor Club, I felt like was a huge reason to subscribe because TV was free. So like we just attended so many of them in person.
Right. True. Yeah, down the stretch we did. So keep your eyes peeled to Honor Club for those updates as they come out. The next thing that hit this past week was that for a couple of weeks we're going to be without Andrade El Idolo. It looks like he'll be back in a week or two. Nothing serious, but Andrade did wind up sort of getting hurt in a match he had on June 24th episode of Rampage against Rey Fenix. But it looks like it's going to be nothing serious. So a couple weeks.
He just
and we'll
felt
see
left
Andrade.
out. He was like, all the top talent get injured, and I've been on this weird trajectory since I've been here. I need to go get injured so I can be a top star.
Of course. I think he did say that it was some inflammation in his ankle due to being in the business for almost 20 years.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Understandable. Understandable. The other news that came out was that Ortiz obviously had been hurt. I'm sorry, Santana had been hurt. My apologies. And he'll be out for the next 8 to 9 months. So we will be without Santana, but there are no plans at the moment, apparently, to stop using Ortiz. So hopefully we continue to see Ortiz get used and pushed a little bit in some other capacity. But, the rumor mills are swirling that those guys are as dead as Desus and Miro. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. There were also some tweets I think that Santana put out that said stuff like, I'll speak when I'm ready. So, there's a lot of reports out there. You can go look them up, but basically it seems like Santana hasn't really been that happy with what he's doing. Ortiz seems okay. It seems like they're kind of on two different roads. So we'll see. It will suck, but we'll see what happens. The other thing, Kate, that came out was that AQA apparently is stepping away from pro wrestling. She's a 25-year-old struggling behind the scenes a little bit, and she sent out a message on July 18th saying she's taking time off from the business to reflect and decide on her future. She said, I want to take this time to say thank you to anyone who has ever cheered for me, supported me, bought merch, had me on your podcast, or wrote an article about me. Those who sent loving messages, made fan art, gave me a hug during a meet and greet, or a high five on my way to and from the ring. Promoters who booked me, opponents that stood across from me, and my trainers for teaching me everything I know. For I wouldn't have made it this far without all of you. At this time, I've decided to step away from professional wrestling for the immediate future. For the past few years, both mentally and physically, I have not been in a great place with wrestling, and silly me, I kept pushing through because I didn't want to be seen as weak, but it only sucked the fun out of the opportunity I had, or every opportunity I had. I hope during this time I'll be able to reflect deeply and see what path is best for me. Thank you, AEW, for granting me this time. Until I see you again. Much love. So it sucks, but I'm glad that AQA is taking time to, get better and sort of recenter.
Take care of y'all chickens. Take care of your mentals.
That's right.
That's what Marshawn said, and he's right.
Totally true. Let's see what else. Kate, in some maybe big news or rumor mill stuff this week, is that Kenny Omega apparently is nearing a return.
Who?
And is you're right. Kenny, by God, Omega will be making a return, hopefully very soon, so that he can 69 me Don.
Hell yeah.
There are some tentative plans for Omega to team up with the Bucks for a match at All Out in September, but of course nothing's confirmed. So it is sort of good to see those rumors swirling. because what was it, a week or two ago, he was saying things aren't going that great. If I have another setback, I'm done. So to hear that news is promising, and maybe at some point in the near future, we will see those 6-man tag belts. Let's see what else. I don't really think I know the G1 Climax is happening. And there's some talent that's part of that that a lot of people have seen now on AEW television. So if you're keeping up with that, fantastic. I know Lance Archer for sure was included in the G1. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but the results are out there. So take a look. But the G1 should be fun. And again, Matt plugged it before. Tune into the Bread Club. I'm sorry, tune into the Bread Fan Bread Club to hear them talk about it, Matt and Kieran. And then I'm not going to read through the whole thing, Kate, but Amanda Huber and -1 spoke with Men's Health about sort of continuing the legacy of Brody Lee. There's some good snippets out there. I've seen parts of the interview. I haven't read the whole interview. But she just basically talks about sort of the decisions. She and he talk about the decisions of sort of being involved in keeping things alive, in Brody's memory, and keeping his legacy going. So if you have a chance, definitely give it a read. It's crazy to think, Kate, that it's not been really that long since he's passed, but it seems like forever, right?
Yeah, so much has happened. So much has happened in the world, in wrestling, in AEW. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it, Kate. I don't have any other news or tidbits unless you have something that I missed.
No, I think you covered it, my dude. I guess the AEW Rampage will close out Fyter Fest officially.
Yes, Friday Night Rampage apparently is the end of Fyter Fest. Actually, next week's Dynamite is a Fight for the Fallen. They sort of announced that tonight, or if it wasn't like an official announcement, they mentioned it like in passing. So, they had these string of special Dynamites, and I feel like they all kind of come clumped together. So we had the Fyter Fest, and now next week will be Fight for the Fallen, and I don't know if there's anything special after that, but we know coming up we will have Grand Slam back at Arthur Ashe Stadium. We're gonna try to be there.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, it's been quite a week in AEW. Rampage will happen Friday night, and then we're on to Fight for the Fallen next week, and Death Before Dishonor Saturday. So definitely stay on top of it. We're gonna see, Kate. I'm gonna see. I saw some things in the chat. We'll see. Maybe we can cobble together a little post show. And we'll let everybody know out there if we're able to do a bonus show for you. So we would try to do it after the show, and then we'll put it up in podcast form. Other than that, Kate, why don't you tell the people what you're up to?
Sure. Well, you can catch me every Tuesday night on Fightful YouTube with Alex Pulaski doing the Sour Graps post show, as well as Fridays. You can catch me doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show. That's all on Fightful YouTube, and I'll also be on Fightful Select doing the Death Before Dishonor post show with Alex Pulaski over there. And every Wednesday that I can make it here, I'm hanging out here. Hell yeah.
Well, we hope you come back after episode 69. We hope we didn't ride you too hard.
It's just, what do I have to look forward to in like my entire life,
I know.
I mean,
96 isn't really that appealing.
No. I mean, I guess it's like the same, but it's not the same,
Different. Yeah. I guess maybe episode 100, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll free some action. Get all those get all those numbers in, 100.
And Kate, where can people follow you too? Just make sure so that they can keep up with whatever you're doing.
With all my shit, yeah, you can follow me at Miss Kate Fabe on Twitter and on TikTok, as well as Kate's Instagrams on Instagram. Nice to be back on Twitter. It's been a nice return.
Well, I'm glad that nobody's ruined it, because actually that was something that Jade deactivated her Twitter account. So, yeah. I just wanted to put that out there because I know sometimes you post up like your schedule for the week. So if people are looking to follow Kate around for the week, certainly keep an eye on her socials. As for our socials, every Monday and Tuesday, Ryan Schlong, or the captain, apparently, is live tweeting along with AEW Dark Elevation and Dark. So make sure you're following at MarkOrderPod on Twitter for all the live reactions that Schlong has. And he's also pretty much running that Twitter and responding to people and engaging in conversations. His rules and our rules in general for everything are, as long as you're not a dick, we'll engage with you. If you're a dick, you're out of here. So let's keep it fun. Other than that, please check out our socials, the link tree, to get your free Mark Order Podcast stickers. All of the fake news tonight aside, they are 100% free. No shipping, no handling, no nothing. All you have to do is go to our social accounts, click that link tree link, and then there's a button to request your free stickers. Just give us your name, your full mailing address, and the country you live in. That way we're sure we're sending it to the right place, because we can't get in touch with you, so I can't confirm your address. The other thing too is we want to thank everybody for watching along with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun tonight on our sexy episode 69. And we appreciate everybody who always chats along. The Kyle K. Sparks, the Mark Quills, the Electric Mayhem,
Asian
Jesse
Joe.
Ozog, Asian Joe.
Remixed our theme tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that too, Asian Joe. Mike Peterson. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of other people who've been chatting along. But we thank you guys for watching along live with us. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, we thank you too. If you are a podcast listener, please make sure wherever you're listening, just subscribe, like, rate, review. Any of that stuff helps us out greatly. So please do that. And if you've never checked us out in video format, again, tonight is one of the reasons you 100% should. You don't need to do it live. All of the videos live on YouTube, in perpetuity, we'll say. So go back and check out our catalog in video form on YouTube. I think that's going to do it for us here tonight, Kate. So thank you for hanging in. It looks like the captain's internet crapped out far out at sea, unless he's doing some really, really debaucherous stuff that we just can't see.
Both might be true.
Very, very true. So stay tuned to the socials. We're going to try to see if we can do a post show here with maybe some special guests who can join in with me. So we'll let you know about that on our socials, but you can certainly find us here again next Wednesday night after Dynamite at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. So come back. Thank you all again. Kate, try to stay cool out there. And definitely after this long, taxing episode, please replenish your fluids and get a good night's sleep. And make sure you stretch before you go to bed.
And to you, sir.
We'll catch you all next week. Thanks for joining us here on the Mark Order Podcast.
This concludes the Mark Order Podcast. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Join the Mark Order.